Oh, well, would you look at who we have here? This is aggressively loud. One moment, please. Yeah, or maybe I'll just take this off. No, I'll leave it on. Hello, welcome. Are you guys ready to yap about cats? I finished the book this morning. Well, I finished the books a few times, but specifically for this morning. Holy chat moly, you are gigantic. Let me make that a tiny. Oh no, no, Jaden, don't yap at yourself. Ah, oh my god. Okay, one moment. Okay, I gotta just make this a tiny bit smaller. Are you guys God, ready for me to be a mess? That's what I was gonna say. I haven't streamed in a minute. Like, seriously. Well, also, I wasn't sure what to put on, like, the middle of the screen. So we have currently chat. I also have the wiki pulled up just in case we... Oh my goodness. We need to, check in on that. One moment. Oi. Can you tell I'm not quite ready? Lay it down a little bit. There. That's good. All right, gang. Alrighty, I have my notes here. Okay, sorry. Now I'm fully ready. I'm fully here with my attention span, not anywhere else but here. Guys, oh my god, look at everybody who's here. I'm just gonna start spouting it off. We got Warrior, JTG, Tamarin Star. I'm saying that wrong. Soot Star, Moonlight, Noodles, Oni, Lazy, Cool Person, Moonlight, Ash, Whispering Song, Alex. Oh my god. Guys, welcome. Are you ready to chat about the books? I'm also going to be perusing chat and we're going to discuss it. So if you have anything to say, please start saying it. We're having a yap sesh together. Okay, so into the wild. Welcome. Okay, so first and foremost, I did not realize that this was also okay. Actually, before I get into that, I have a lot of stupid realizations, and I don't know if it's just because I've never well, no, I've read this book. I've read it to get trivia questions a bunch of different times, but for some reason, just this time, a couple things clicked, and I'm like, I'm a little dumb that I'm only noticing it now, but that's fun. We'll go in it together. So, okay. Here are my notes into the wild. First of all, when I was reading the prologue, did we forget how much of it, or should I maybe do the, well, let's do an overview of the book. Let's maybe do that. This is in my terms, so it's not gonna be great. So it's the very first start, and man, what a banger of a start it is. I was reading this and I'm like, it is no freaking wonder why the books captivated so many people, because I don't know, there's just, and I am a Gen 1er, I'm a Warrior Cat Gen 1er to the day I die, and I truly and honestly believe that the first arc is by far the best out of the series. And I don't know if that's just because like they had like an idea of where the story was gonna go or what, but it's so good. And I'm like, I was rereading this, I'm like, ah yes, the Warrior Cats. The other arcs do make me want to lose time on my life, and I do every time. Sorry, I'm hitting the book with my hand. Every time we go traveling. So this is well, a little bit of traveling, more traveling than I remember, but Warrior Cats. So I guess the overview is we meet Rusty, our sweet baby boy Rusty, and he is, well, first of all, actually, we open the scene, we have the fight on Sunning Rocks, and I have a realization about that we'll get to in a minute, but we're on Sunning Rocks, everybody's fighting. They're throwing fists at each other. They're elbowing each other in the head. They're just like tussling. And then, Red Tail's like, we gotta get out of here. Essentially, ThunderClan's like, okay, you win this time. And they leave, and then we see Blue Star and Spotted Leaf. I'm saying this, everybody knows what happened, so I don't know why I'm going through this. Anyways, so we see a little Rusty, sweet baby boy Rusty. And then he's a kitty pet, but he's like, no, I would rather be a non-kitty pet. And he goes into the forest and he joins ThunderClan. And then the whole book is basically his adventure of starting his life as a ThunderClan warrior. And has a lot. Oh my god, I'm out of breath because I'm nervous. Can you tell? Okay, focus, Jane. So like a lot of it, I realized it gives you a lot of info dump on like clan stuff and like how it works, the naming system, all of that. But I don't think it overwhelms you. At least when I was a kid, I was dumb. I haven't really evolved past that, to be honest. Also, I have a new guy. Do you notice he's kind of a little bit alien looking? Let me know if you don't like him, but. Also, don't mind the fact my pupil goes over my eye, but anyways, so we get a lot of info dump, but I don't think, I gotta chill out. I don't want to see you guys make me nervous. I'm tucking my hair behind my ears. Oh my god, Lazy! Oh, you're not Lazy. Oh my god, Lazy donated $1.99 and said, oh, what, $2? It says, hello, Blix. I love hearing you talk about cats. Lazy, thank you. And that we are. We're going to talk about so many cats. I'm so thrilled right now. Actually, you know what? I wonder if I should bring up the allegiance is nice. Why am I having a mental breakdown? Allegiances, yeah? Am I saying that wrong? Why am I feeling like I am? Allegiances. Yeah, so, yeah. Blixemi, breathe. It's important to your survival. I disagree. No, I fully agree, actually. So yeah, we get a lot of info dump, but I don't think it's overwhelming. Oni says Sunning Rocks belong to River Clan. You know what? I'm a River Clan stan, so I have to agree on that. But I don't know. It's a little shaky. It's a little shaky. But what was I gonna go with it? Info dump. You want to hear it? Also ASMR. Beautiful. Yes. Okay. In any case, so let's just dive into the book. I have some thoughts. First of all, okay, we're just gonna jump. So the lines of the prologue specifically, this is like very specific. So I don't know if this is gonna be relatable. I'm sure it will though, because this fandom is so intensely creative, but also like involved, especially in the first arc. I feel so many people have put their creative touch on it and have tried to bring it to life in their eyes and successfully bring it to life. And I just think that there's something about the first book that it just is unparalleled when it comes to that. It's most iconic, but I mean, it's the first. Also, the Curious Moth donated $2 as a tuppence. What? A tuppence for you, my girl. Curious Moth. What the heck? Hold on. What is a tuppence? Let's Google that. I have a tuppence. One moment. Tuppence. This is not the point, Jaden. Tuppence. Okay, a 2 pence. Okay, yeah, gotcha. Thank you. Oh my god, thank you, Curious Moth. You've made me curious. This just, I feel like, encapsulates what's going on right now, because this is essentially what's gonna happen. Just me. Blah, blah. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I was gonna say. The lines are like etched into my body. The one like. Specifically, I remember when I found my old YouTube account where I did voice acting from. Now, everybody hang on to your pants, because this is going to expose how much of an ancient grandmother I am. From 16, count them, 16 years ago. I think a lot of you aren't even 16 years old. But I think it was 16. It was 16 or 15, but I'm like positive it was 16. 16 years ago, and I was doing Blue Star lines. These specific lines from this book, and I'm like reading it. I'm like, I have said and read these words so many times, but it still does not lose its magic. Like, what's the one? It's specifically the Blue Star line here. Let me even flip to it. I was gonna put the like book up on the screen, but I'm like, is that illegal? Is Erin Hunter gonna give me a spank? I don't want that, not at all. So where's the line? There's a couple. Oh, are you okay? Yeah, so Blue Star. Should I feel a little self-conscious reading on stream though. Just all of it. I guess I can't really even pull like a specific one. Oh, speaking of though, in the prologue. Okay, so this is me when I was a little goofball as a kid. But there was something about in the prologue, Mouse Fur was mentioned, and I was convinced that she was going to be important because they talk about her, and I'm like, oh my god, a girly pop, one of the girlies, and they're saying how like, where is it? I think it's Tiger Claw like bounces somebody off of her. Where is this? Yeah, I can't really. Oh yeah, look at this. Tiger Claw knocks an enemy warrior away from the she-cat. Run, Mouse Fur, run! And that she does. That is not the line at all. But I was like, oh my gosh, she's so cool. And she like was, spoiler alert for the rest of the series, never important really. And I was like, damn, what a letdown. But here I was rooting for her for so long, and I held my breath for so long. And then they're like, yeah, whatever, he's just a guy. It's like, okay, that's fine. So yeah, that's my note. Okay, so the other thing when I was reading it, okay, so we're past the prologue. We're into chapter 1. Oh my goodness gracious. What a sweetie pie. What a little guy. He's just so tiny. And they make it such a specific point of how just a little guy is. But anyways, I was reading this and I don't know, like and this is a boneheaded thing to say because of course, but the fence usage of it, and every time they just talk about the fence, I'm like, oh, like I wish we could do more with that, like of just like the boundary in between. And I feel like they did a good job with it, but I'm like, oh, I want to dive into that. I don't know how creatively or like what, but there's something about the fence division and just like that and the vision, like I don't know, it's probably dumb, but no, it's not, but you know what I mean. I just like it. I like the fence. Also, the other thing I noticed is they never describe Rusty's 2 legs beyond the fact that they're 2 legs. They don't give us gender, they don't give us what they're wearing, like nothing, age is nothing. And I thought that was so interesting because I'm like, because when I was reading it I was like, oh yeah, like I don't really remember what they look like, I should make a point of looking. and never do they like say anything. And I'm like, that is so good, because then you are now able to put yourself as the two-leg owners and like have that mysticism. I don't know if that's the right word, but have that idea of like, oh my God, that could be my cat. Like, I feed my cat. I too have hands. That is insane. And I love that. And I just was like, oh, okay, so maybe we just come up with head cannons for the two legs. I'd like to think, okay, come with me now. I'm gonna say that Rusty's two legs are wildly famous. Oh, what if they were like somebody like I can't even think of anything, like somebody just like crazy like famous, maybe I don't even know, like Shania Twain, and then they're like, oh my gosh, my cat. And like what we don't know is they're the real story this whole time. No, Firestar is the story. But also, do we know what year it was set in? I think they're very wacky with their timeline. Also says Sunny fall. Sunny, I love Sunny. Sunny says, and at the time it's implied to be mouse fur. Ah, yes, it's implied that mouse fur is young, the youngest warrior in the bunch. Oh, and maybe that's why they make a point of it, so that Tiger Claw's like, oh, my younger, inexperienced one, she's got to get out of here. I don't know, there was just something about it. Nubby Noza says mouse fur is indestructible. She lives forever. Also, I should maybe say spoilers, but I feel like that comes without saying. But she does, and and she became, I can't remember her as a young warrior. She's just instantly solidified in my mind as a grouchy old woman, and I love that. That's me. So, so I miss. Oh, well, okay, we'll get back to that. But yes, so the two legs, we never see them, and I kind of love that. I would be disappointed. I know they don't come back, but if they ever did, I would be disappointed in that. Also, the other thing is, while I was reading, lazy donated two buckaroonies, two smackers, and said, "Can you say hi to your egg cat?" I don't know where she is. Iggy. I have a story about cats at the end of the stream, an exciting kind of strange story, but that's fine. But she's somewhere. She might be cuddling with Austin. Who knows? She's normally bothering me, so it's concerning that she's nowhere to be found. She's trying to figure out how to escape and become the next Firestar, which is confusing because she's a pitch black cat. But I guess maybe she's the new Night Harper. We're getting very out of it. I don't think that's his name, but in any case. There's Hive. Thank you, Lazy. Thank you. We'll say hi to Iggy. Stinky Iggy cat. Oh, Madeline says, here's a question, Blix. If Ravenpaw didn't stay silent about Tiger Claw, do you think things would have been better or worse for him? Madeline, what a good question. And I was thinking, like, so many times, I get it. He's a nervous Nelly. He's a shy little guy. And he's like worried about the repercussions and what could happen like when he talks about it. But I was getting a little mad at like there's so many opportunities of like, if you guys just, and this is just carries throughout the entire series, of if you guys would just open your little cat lips and just use your words, you would be in such a better position than you are now, and you're not, and that is unfortunate. But I get also that he's young and inexperienced, so I will give him that. But there are a couple times I'm like Sunny says, time in Warriors is a construct. The timeline fundamentally does not work and contradicts itself several times over. See, we got the real analysis. I'm over here like, I don't know, maybe like 1957, I guess. Thus, I can conclude they exist in an alternate timeline that doesn't mirror our own. I think you're right, but I'm choosing to believe that maybe it was in the disco era and Rusty, who are we? The cat's going for not a bingo. What's a bingo but with a disco party? Anyways, we found it. But yeah, okay. Oh, I have so much. Bailey says, adopt us, please. Oh, that's you silly little, I don't even know. I was gonna say silly little. I know I've heard people say silly sausage, but I think that's a British thing, and I'm very not British. But anyways, I've already adopted you guys. The papers are on their way. So pack your bags. I'm coming to get you, and also not in a weird way. In a normal, like, warrior cat way. I'm gonna put you in thunder. This is getting away from me. In any case, okay, so next up. Okay, so, this is the other thing. So I found a couple questions, and I have trivia questions. And I know I'm positive I've used some of them in Mouse Brain, but I thought what a fun little activity that we can do as we go. So, my first trivia question for you guys, and I'm gonna see whoever gets it first, is... When Smudge and Rusty, they're chit-chatting, and Rusty's like, I would love to go on a vacation to this forest and never come back and just live there. And Smudge is like, you better not, actually, because Henry said that that's terrifying. But Henry actually went into the forest, and he caught something, like, to be like, oh yeah, I did go in there. Do you guys know what sweet, old, pranky, sleepy Henry caught in the forest as his prey that he said? Silly little warriors. Oh, cute. Oh my god, silly little. Is there an S? Silly little. I don't know. I was gonna say, well, I'll think on it. We'll cook on it. Um, Not so Richie Bobcat. Donated five. Thanks, thank you, Richie Bobcat. Says, hey Blix, love the channel. Are we gonna see more Goo But Car Clan Gen streams? That was a tongue twister. Absolutely. I was gonna do one this week, but I was like, oh, I gotta prepare for this one, and I didn't want to get all messed up. But definitely, I'm gonna convince Austin to get his little tushy back here. Look at that. But yes, absolutely. Not so Richie. You can't get rid of me that easy. So for what did Henry, sweet Henry, catch? Apollo says sparrow. Violet Star says sparrow. A lot of people are saying mouse, blackbird, and our first person to get it right is Warrior JTD. My God, Warrior JTG says a robin. It was a robin. I'm like, that is so specific, but I guess he's robbing the forest of their prey, and so I guess it fits. But I also thought it was just a mouse, but no, apparently it's very specific. And a robin, I feel like that is I mean, that's kind of impressive, not gonna lie. Like, my cat can barely catch a piece of fuzz that's like slowly moving across the ground, let alone a bird of flight. I guess all birds of flight, not well, penguins, bird of ice. So yeah, that's sweet Henry. We'll that goes to Warrior. Can I put, I don't know. Okay, I'll figure it out. Next time I'll have a like little spot to put the name of people who get it first. Okay. What else do we have? Okay, oh, you know what is so precious? In the first, when Rusty first goes into the forest and gets bowling balled over by sweet Grace Paw, they refer to them as kittens so many times, and my heart is melting because I just imagine these two little puffballs, just because like I know that they're young, because obviously because obviously, but like I know that they're young, but it's just to imagine them as like kittens who still have those like little just soft fur and just like clumsy little feet. I'm like, stop. Why is Gray Stripe Paw? I mean, a kitten. Let's see if I can find an exact reference. Oh, I should have had this. Some pages I had written down. This one not. Look at this. So it's on page 15. If anybody's for some reason it has the book as well. So you're not a warrior yet? Rusty asked. And then Great Paw says, why? Did you think I was? I'm reading kind of not exactly on the lines. And also, okay, I'm running all over the place. I'll figure it out as we go on these and be more organized. But in any case, Rusty didn't feel scared. In fact, it was hard to not admire this confident kitten. Come on, Great Paw, little kitten. Also, did you know that Great Paw, and there's so many crazy things that they do in this book that I'm like, that would not fly in the newer arcs, because they're so not strict, but just like so not this loosey-goosey with the behaviors. But Great Paw, it was his very first day as an apprentice and first night out, and he's off on his own by the two-leg thing, just chilling, just exploring, and they're just like, yeah, that's fine. Nobody had a problem with that. Like, I think that I think Lionheart says at one point, he's like, you shouldn't be this far away, but also, like, I guess it's fine that you are out. That's crazy. Blixemi, stop and breathe. You're gonna pass out. I know, I'm sorry, this is probably hard to listen to. I just can't. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to talk about Warrior Cats. How am I gonna stop? Idiot Gaming. I don't want to call you Idiot Gaming. But they say adorable. I imagine Gray Stripe as a super fluffy kit. Me too. I was gonna call you idiot. Me too, idiot. No. Me too. I'm gonna just go with gaming. Me too, gaming. And they often like refer to his like fluffy gray fur and stuff. I'm like, little precious little guy. Oh, Alex Mark says more like chonky fluffy kitty, right? Could you imagine? Oh, I would not feel threatened at all. In fact, I would just go, oh, and pinch his little cheeks. Just get him. Shadow Video Gamer says, okay, this is what I'm saying. Also, am I really loud? Shadow Video Gamer says, okay, where the heck was Lionheart then, man? Your apprentice is out there. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like in the books, like, apprentices are not supposed to go out by themselves. Like, at least not on their first freaking night. Like, yes, but like in the new books, I can't really think of when they just like kind of go, unless they're being like, just like kind of naughty. But Paws and Claw says, hey Blix, would you mind if you read my question? I could ask it again. I might have missed it in the thing. I'm kind of glancing all over the place, so I do apologize. Tiny fur missiles. Oh my god. I love kittens though. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, where was I? Well, I guess Lionheart eventually did come, but they were watching him. But again, like if it wasn't his very first night, and I guess maybe they're trying to like put them in the same age, which they kind of are. I mean, they are, but like I don't know. It just I was like the first night that seems crazy because he would have just been like six, like also, moons are months, right? I don't know why in my head I had it that moons were 2 weeks. I don't know where I heard that as a kid, but I was like, yeah, that makes sense, 2 weeks. And so I don't know, I don't know where I got that from. I don't know if it was like the moon cycle, but then I'm like, I think it was actually my buddy Selena back in the day. She's like, the moon cycle isn't 2 weeks long, and I'm like, oh, okay. But I was convinced it was 2 weeks. Couldn't even tell you why. For no good reason. It doesn't change anything, but. Alex says, I said lion plays, not Lionheart. Honestly, for the amount that this guy is in the book, may as well be Lion Blaze. He's not really around. But he's so iconic. And isn't that wild in this book how there's so many minor quote unquote characters, but they leave such an impression despite being there for like 5 seconds. Elemental Winter says, I think it's implied that Greypaw was with Lionheart at first and then ran off because of Goofball. It was Goofball. But even, well, I guess if I feel like that is very Lionheart to do, of just be like, okay, like, what are you gonna do? But it just blew my mind when he said that. And like when I first would have read it, like, and had zero information on the series, I would have been like, oh yeah, like he's just doing his thing. But like now, knowing all of the books following it, I'm like, that feels like so, like they wouldn't do that, but I love it. Love it. One moment, please. Okay. There was Pausing Clause had a question. Okay. Says, oh, would you mind if I made a fursuit off your warrior cat character? Oh, honestly, at any time I've had people ask if they can do like art. Absolutely, man. What's mine is yours. So you get down with your bad self. Oh, thank you for asking though. But yeah, if you want to bring her to that is very, very kind. Oh my gosh, I'm all fluttered now. I'm all blushy. How many times can I say how wild? Blixemi, if you see a full moon, are you turning into a werecat before? I cannot expose that answer because I cannot risk my safety. The FBI will like find me and punch my door down. Sunny says, warriors actually going by the moon, cycles of which are roughly 29 days, would definitely put them at the, oh my god, would definitely put them fully off the solar cycle in a matter of years if they ever matched moons to their season or cared which moon they were in. That is, you know what, and I guess we just have to suspend disbelief, but I was fully believing it was 2 weeks, which makes things just hugely more confusing. So I'm like, okay, so 6 moons, so that would make them how many? Okay, so 3 months, and then I like doing math and I'm like, you know, there's 6 months, dude. Use your brain. And I was like, I'm trying, but I just can't. Yeah, so that's my note. One moment. Just have a little drink. V-Star says, what's mine is yours. Thanks for the channel. But joking. I'm telling you, dude. If you... man, take her. No, actually don't, because I do love this, but I fear. We're all in this together. Tristan Waits says, think your warrior persona could take on other warrior cats, or you just not a fighter? I can guarantee you she cannot. I cannot. They cannot. There's no way. We're barely hanging on as it is. No way, Jose. Moss Plus says, I thought moons were months too. Well, okay, now I'm kidding. They are, right? Moons are months. So when kittens are 6 moons, they're 6 months, right? Surely. Okay, in any case, let me get back on topic. Okay, so then I just wrote, I don't know, some of these notes apparently were I just said Blue Star's breathtaking introduction. Jaden, what does that mean? I think it's just like how mystically they described her, and they really did. Even rereading it, I'm like, yeah, damn, Blue Star's so cool. She's so cool. Also, okay, so now this is a question that you guys can maybe help answer, but like, did we ever find out truly like what made Firepaw so special? And I know that's goofy to say because he's a main character, that's why he's special, but like, because I know in the, I don't know, whenever it's like, oh, there's a 4th prophecy cat, spoilers, I'll give you 5 seconds. Okay, hopefully spoilers for, what is that, Omen of the, no, whatever the 4th arc is. So if you haven't read that, listen for a second, or don't listen for a second, I mean. But they say he is the 4th prophecy cat, but like, is there something, like, does he have powers even at the beginning? Like, I know they didn't have intentions for powers, but he seems to have this like really specific connection to StarClan, obviously, but like, why? You know, like, is he just powerful. Like, I just don't, and I'm like, we never really dove into that, and I kind of like it because they're just like, he is just a guy and he is just destined, like this is a destiny. But the prophecy power, exact, but like, do we know why he specifically was chosen, very good, chosen for the prophecy? Like, yeah, he had orange fur, but like, was that the only defining factor, or like, was it just like his courage or like his personality? Like, I'm just so curious. I guess you don't need a reason, you're just like, it's just who he was. But I don't know, I think it's his dreams or something, says Apollo. That's what I was thinking, like he had like a specific, like how the medicine cats have a specific connection to StarClan, like if he somehow did, but if so, why? But it's fascinating. And you got to be curious if like something to do with his like parents, or I'm not sure. He's highlighter orange. They're like, you know what? We need a guy that stands out. They looked at him, their eyes started burning. They're like, yeah, he'll do. That's perfect. They spun a wheel, says Kay the cat. Who's our prophecy? This game show. StarClan, everybody's dancing. I don't know who's passed away at this point. I guess Redtail comes out. I guess he's not dead at this point. Spoilers for the first like book or page of the book. He comes out in like a beautiful gown and he's like, let's spin the wheel. We're kind of losing it, but that's okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Apollo says probably because he wasn't born in the clans yet, and he wanted to be a clan cat. I think yeah. And so I guess that boils down to just his personality then, which makes sense. I'm just like, I don't know what I'm searching for, a deeper something. I don't even think there is something to be searched for and discovered, but it just, I was like, like, I guess it's just him, and there's nothing more to that, and there doesn't need to be anything more than that. Your elemental power, says Ash, is orange. How is your heart? Oh my god, what a beautiful question, Audrey. My heart is not too bad. My heart is full right now. I'm hanging out with you guys. Alien hamster alone will save our clan, says Okish. I did not realize how much of a chokehold that would that would have on my channel, the amount of times that alien hamster is referenced. And I say to Mackenzie, my sister, I'm like, you are a menace and you have started something that we cannot stop, I suppose. Okay. Let's see, I guess, why is Rusty so special? Okay, so the other thing is, I feel like now as I'm reading these notes, I'm like, am I just saying stuff to say stuff? Like, because I'm like, oh, Smudge is a foil to Rusty. He would be what what Rusty would be if he stayed as a kitty pet. But I'm like, yeah, duh, there's a point. So I don't know why I felt the need to write that down. Also, I was reading in bed and I was writing this and I was so comfy and I didn't want to sit all the way up, and my handwriting is terrible at the best of times. So some of these notes are actually, I should take a screenshot of these. These are horrifying. Like, you know how some people have very nice writing? But the opposite. Very, very poor writing. I could be a doctor in that one specific instance for having terrible writing. Any other time, do not come to my practice because I will accidentally give you a thermometer in your ear and be like, yeah, you probably have a broken leg, I would imagine. What? I'm hearing sound. I think it's just Austin. Okay, sorry. Yeah, alien hamster, my goodness. Kay the cat says, we all say stuff to say stuff. That's why stuff is said. Okay, that is so true. Quick, somebody write that down. Somebody write that down. That is so good. Okay, so yeah, so there's oh, okay, so also kind of going back to the fence thing, and maybe these just are very surface level, and now I'm kind of, because I'm not an analysis. I'm not an analytical person. I'm like, yes, cats. I like to do a little song, do a little jig, do a little dance, cats. And then there's like channels that are dedicated to it and have like good, like in-depth takes. You're not coming. I'm scratching the surface and just getting like shavings off of that. But my note is, Smudge stands in front of the fence to stop Rusty. The symbolism of stopping on the border. Jaded. But yeah, I just did find it interesting that he like stops him specifically in front of that one like barrier wall. But like that feels so like, hello, yeah, of course. I don't know. I felt the need to write it down apparently, so that's important. Okay. Oh, sharing tongues. I guess we don't really see that quite as much these days. Sorry, 1 second. I'm just gonna close my door. Okay, sorry about that. There's noise in the other room and I didn't want the mic to pick up. Can you hear my squeaky chair? It's so old in any case. Yeah, sharing tongues. We don't really hear about that much anymore, but that's okay. We don't need it. Oh, when I was reading the part, so like Rusty's in the clan. He's joined them. They're all like, "Hooray, good job!" And they're standing there, and Lion, no, not Lion, Longtail is being like, "You little punk, get over here and punch me, and that'll prove yourself." And he's like egging him on, and Lionheart behind him is egging him on, and I'm like, oh my god! And I don't know why I found it so funny. Just the idea of Lionheart being like, "You gonna take that? You gonna let him say that to you? Get him, go beat him up, go!" Like tapping him on the bum, like, get in there, fight. And I'm like, I don't know why I found that so funny. It's just like he's this tall, regal, like just very calm guy, but just messy as hell. Go get him, Tiger, literally. Except for not at all. Where is it? Where can I see? Not Rusty, no, or not Firestar. I mean, I don't even know. Gosh, I didn't write this page down. Let's see. Okay, look at this. Oh yeah, Lionheart bent down and hissed into Rusty's ear. "That tabby is Longtail. He smells your fear. They all do. You must prove to him and the other cats that your fear won't hold you back." And then, oh yeah, and then so, again, Longtail's like, "You little twerp, get over here and kick me, dum-dum." And then, so he's just going on, and then Lionheart hissed into Rusty's ear once more. "Do you back down from a challenge?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, I don't." And then it goes in fist flying. I just thought it was so funny that it was Lionheart. I'm like, if it was somebody like Greypaw, I think it would be like, oh yeah. But I guess it needed to come from like a higher like authority person. But I just thought it was so funny. There was something about it. I'm like, yeah, it's Lionheart, you messy girl. Get it. So I thought that was funny. The collar, I do love the collar. The collar is good symbolism and it's snapping. Just reading that scene again, I'm like, man, they did a bang up job on this first book. Man, did they ever. And it's written by Kate Carey, I think. Kate Carey. Am I saying that wrong? I've seen this name so many times. Yeah, Kate Carey. I thought it was Vicky Holmes. Am I like off my rocker? I thought Vicky Holmes wrote the first 6 books, but no, I guess it was Kate Carey. I don't know how that works, but in any case, who knows? "I hated Longtail, honestly," says Brutal Heart when I first read it. He's like, what a little punk though. Like, yeah, I hear, I don't know. I think as a kid I probably did too when I first read it, but like now reading it, I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, spicy boy, get him. Okay, I'm missing a whole. Okay, so this is where is my bonehead discovery that I just am realizing it in this past couple days of, now hold on, you guys are all gonna think I'm dumb, but this whole time, and I've read this so many times and I guess I just never like clicked in, but this whole time I thought that Redtail had passed away or had died in the battle in the prologue of when they're fighting. And it never really occurred to me how that would not work for the timeline, because like there's full like days that go by of like Firestar or Firepaw is, or not even Rusty, like is given the opportunity, goes away for a day, comes back. All this stuff happened in between. But then Ravenpaw comes barreling into the camp right after I think that Firepaw's made an apprentice. I'm too lazy to look back. And then he's like, sound the alarm, Redtail is dead, tail. And everybody's like, oh no. But in my whole head, the whole time I was like, yeah, because he died in the, but no, it was something, and it completely, entirely different scenario. I'm like, what, this poor guy, he's constantly getting into just trouble, I guess. But I don't know why that, I was just like looking. Tristan says, what? How did you think that? Tristan, I could tell you, but it's just what I had in my head. And like looking back on it and like speaking it out loud with my words, I'm like, yeah, that makes zero sense. But this whole time, and like not even when I was a kid, like up until probably this last week, it just, I don't think I ever thought to question it. It's like, yeah, that's what happened. And it's so dumb now, but I'm like, whatever. When's the next trivia? Says Tamarin. Or Tamarin? I'm so sorry. I think I have another one coming up. Yeah, on my next page. So don't you worry. Moonlight Bloom says, no, but the collar scene, ooh, interesting, feels a bit off to me, because Longtail wasn't trying to break the collar, so what was he trying to do? Choke him. You know what, Moonlight? I think that's exactly what it was trying to do. And I think it was this whole thing of, in my head of how I interpreted is that was his weak point. So like any other warrior would have done the same if it was just like a regular fight. Say he goes off and he's fighting a Wind Clan warrior and they're like fighting. If there's that exploit, they're going to use it if they're trying to, you know, win this fight. So I think it's like, I'm sure he was just like mad and he's like, oh, I can see this. So I think he was just trying to like use that against him because it was this marker of like, you are different. This is what makes you different. And it is a weak point because I can choke you to death. So I think it made sense to me, and I do like that they did it, and it was such a good symbolism, and the way they write it of just snapping and cracking, and then it's just like everybody's like, yeah, you killed it, literally, you little stinker, and then everybody spit on the collar and flipped it off. But no, so I think he was. I don't necessarily know if Longtail would have been like, I'm going to choke this child. Probably shouldn't say things like that. I'm not gonna get YouTube's gonna be mad at me. But they're like, but Longtail would have been like, this is something. It's like in a fight, you know, when you pull hair, you're fighting dirty. I feel like it was one of those. But so that's what I imagine. Munch says, I just imagine Blick's brain running on a little hamster wheel where every time she goes around it just goes back to Mothwing for a minute. That is so funny. I was gonna have a Mothwing counter on this and be like, hey, every time I say the word Mothwing, I have to like pay $1. But I'm like, no, I will go broke in a moment. But it's so true. And it's gonna take me a long time to get through this. I'm gonna be so obnoxious when Mothwing comes in. Oh man, I'm just gonna never stop. Yeah. How many Kittytron says, Blixemi, how many of Warrior minifigures do you have? That's a good question. I put them all back in the box because I'm a nerd. But I got some when they first got released. They sent me some. They're like, hey, this is our new product. I'm like, neato. And I don't know if I have more. I must have bought them. I think I bought them or they just appeared. But I don't know. I can't see it. 2 or like 6 boxes of just like the not a crazy amount. They have so many out. So I just kind of I haven't gotten any in years. But oh, Paws and Claw says Raven Paw's overrated. Oh my god, overrated. There, I said it. I got thoughts on that. I'll keep the counter, says Lyrit. Somebody will have to. Let's see. Okay, so Lionheart hyping him up. Oh yeah. Collar. Oh no. Redtail did not die during the prologue. That's still blowing my mind. I couldn't even tell you why. But and then I had that sickening realization of like, oh my god, I've been led astray my whole life. The other thing I always forget is when Hazelfern says, if you pay $1 every time you say Mothwing, you might go broke. Sorry about that. Clear my throat. That's so true. I will be in debt tomorrow, at least. Lolita Zombie says Ravenpaw deserves his popularity. He's a sweetie. I have thoughts on him. We'll get to him in a second. But everybody hold those, put a pin in that. But speaking of him, so when he comes barreling into the camp, and I think I did know this at the back of my mind because I've written stuff, like specifically the raps, and I read things in this book and I realize these things and I'm like, I've written full things about these cats and I'm just like, how did it not click in? I guess I just kind of black out when I'm doing it and I'm just like, yeah, because I like scrub the wiki, and like I said, I've read these books multiple times, but I guess I just didn't like drink in the information as well as I could. But I always forget that Golden Flower is Ravenpaw's mom, and I know I've made reference to it in something about being half siblings. Like I know I've made a point to that, but I read that, I'm like, oh yeah, I think I did know that, but I kind of forget that. Do we know who his dad is? Like, obviously. Oh, and the other thing I want to say, there's a couple of things that I noticed in here, and when I'm saying these things, I'm going off of like what I would feel like if I had no knowledge going forward. So like there's certain like interactions and like things where I'm like, oh, interesting, this person and this person. But it is very not great if you like take into account like information from especially books from the past, specifically something about Spotted Leaf is what I'm trying to say. But like I have never read the Spotted Leaf's Heart or whatever. I've never read that one, and going into this, I'm thinking as a kid of what I was thinking. So like I was reading the books as it came out, so there was like no following information. So if I have bad takes, just know it's on the premise of not knowing anything else except for the information that they give us in this book. Obviously, if it was problematic down the line, I'm going to adjust my views and be like, oh, now that we have that information, you know, so and so and so. But just so you know, like, anyways, little disclaimer. And so, oh, the other thing I noticed is oftentimes in the book they say, somebody said, "Love you, mom." That's, hey, I'll be the cool roommate. I'll be like, hey, I'm a guy. I'll buy pizza. But Bailey, have a good one. Thank you for stopping by, buddy. What the heck am I doing here? Oh yeah. Oh, so in this book, now you guys, again, this might just be something that I didn't notice. Oftentimes they refer to like the cat as his deputy or his warriors or her deputy, her warriors. But like when somebody is like coming by, I should have written a page reference down, but like it'll be like Firepaw looked at his deputy instead of looked at the deputy, or gosh, I had a really good example that is like, that is a weak example. Oh, I'm never gonna find it, but it was just something to the effect of like, it was just in passively referencing him, and I feel like they don't do that now. They say the deputy or ThunderClan's deputy, not this his. But I like the his deputies, and even in the prologue, I think it's Redtail says his warriors. Okay, hold on. I'll find this one. This one will be easier to find. It's got to be on this page. Okay, retreat, ThunderClan, retreat, he yowled. At once, his warriors squirmed and struggled away from their opponents. Spitting and snarling, they backed towards Redtail. So, like, that one is, like, a little, like, more, that one's more obvious because it hit, but there is something about using the his deputy, his warriors, that it feels almost, like, more, like, close. Like, they're closer than, oh, it's the deputy, but no, that is, like, my deputy. And it's not that the deputy works for the clan. Well, he does, but it's not like an apprentice will be like, you're the deputy, you work for me. That's not what I mean. But like, it just shows this like this common like knowledge of like, you are like my clan, like you are what is my clan. And I just thought that was interesting, and I don't know if they reference that anymore. Not that I can think. It just stuck out to me, so I could just be noticing it now, but I was like, I don't think so. In fact, I still prefer thinking that Raven is half brother of Brambleclaw, says Idiot Gaming. I hate calling you that. I'm not calling you an Idiot Gaming, I promise. But I think he is, because like, or sorry, I don't want to say it like that. But the like, it specifically says, well, I guess it doesn't like pointedly say that it's his mom, but like when Ravenpaw comes into the camp and he like explodes and faints, Goldenflower runs up to him and is like comforting him, and then I think it's Blue Star's like, no, don't worry, he'll be okay, like he's fine. But like it felt very maternal to me. Gosh, I wish I had that page. I don't know where it is, but to me it just screamed like, yes, that is his mom. And I'm pretty sure, I guess it doesn't specifically say, but I felt that it was close enough to pretty much assume that is. Okay, I'm never gonna find it. In any case, just take my word on it. Take my word for it. Shadow Video Gamer says, I think it's just because they're part of the clan. The mindset is still the clan, so the warrior or apprentice sees their deputy because they're the clan's deputy. No, I 100% agree with that. Of it is like their deputy, but I like when they call them, my deputy put out a patrol this morning instead of the deputy put out a patrol this morning, because it just feels more connecting of like, I see this person as my specific deputy, like this is a person to me that is my deputy, whereas the deputy is still important, still a like a valued like thing of like, you are the deputy, but when it's mine it feels more personal. It feels more like they're not friends but like family. I don't know, it feels more connecting. And I don't know if they do that in the later books. I'll have to look when I'm reading them. But I'm pretty sure Ravenpaw's dad is Fuzzy Pelt. Man, these cats, the retcons, man. Do we even know him? Fuzzy Pelt? That is a cute name, though. Although if I was a big tough warrior, I'd be mad if my name was Fuzzy Pelt. Oh no, Oakish says, I think I'll need to go soon. Well, hey, thank you for hanging out this time and for chatting with us. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is what I was talking about with so another quick disclaimer on this. So this is coming from a place that is, I don't know ages, I don't know anything, I have not read any other book except for this point in time. So I'm going off that information. So why are Spotted Leaf and Tiger Claw flirting? And I'm like, what the? And it's pretty like I'm like, dang, obviously now, like it's not great, but like it's in just the vacuum of this book, I'm like, that is like what they're like. They're kind of flirting. Hold on, I actually had written the page down for this, but listen to this. I was like, that's actually, and again, taking this in an alternate universe where everything is like fine and there's no questionable stuff, because I really don't know the ages, and at this point, nor do I care, because obviously, like, you know, it works out the way it is, and it's all good. But at this moment in time, they don't give ages; they just say they're warriors. But listen to this flirting, okay? And I think part of it is Spotted Leaf is just like, it's just her personality. And I've got mixed feelings on Spotted Leaf in this, but it's just her personality to kind of diffuse things, being like a little strict, but still like good natured enough to like make a joke out of it and be like smiling and stuff. But on like, it feels like it's a good way to diffuse things. But to me, I'm like, what the? Okay, so, where is it? Okay, so first of all, Spotted Leaf starts it. She said, so Tiger Claw's like, do you think you can save him? I've spent a lot of time training him up, and I don't want my efforts to be wasted in the first battle. So that's kind of like Tiger Claw being like a little turd. And then Spotted Leaf, Spotted Leaf didn't look up from her patient as she replied, yes, a pity if, after all your valuable training, he dies on his first fight, eh? Oh my god, he's Canadian like me. And then Firepaw could hear teasing purr in her soft mew. So again, like, I think she's saying it, and like obviously, but I pictured it as like a wink wink, like pushing the hair behind her, like like kind of like flirting, but not because I know, but it is. And honestly, you know what? Hang on, I'm having a brain blast, because oftentimes in this book, do they reference Spotted Leaf as being a pretty young, or a pretty, I don't know, I think they say pretty young, but a pretty comma young comma cat. I don't think that's right, but like they reference her beauty and her how she's pretty. And I love the idea of like, because so many times you see in media, and this is okay, where it's like, you know, I am a person and I am going to fight, and I don't need femininity to hold me back, and I don't need, you know, and I'm just like the dudes and stuff like that, and that's fine. But I love the idea of her using her femininity to still succeed and become successful and stuff like that, because it shows like, and this is not what they were thinking whatsoever, but I just like it when you don't like, you whatever. Here's the thing: whatever girls want to do to succeed, and do, no, whatever girls want to do to live and just do their life is perfect. They don't have to change themselves. And if she wants to be just that, of just like, yeah, like, I'm just doing what I'm doing, like, I don't have to be rough and tough. This is, I'm like reading way into this, but yeah, no, I don't know. I just liked it. And I'm like, oh, she's diffusing the situation. And I think she knows, and she's like above Tiger Claw in this interaction, because I think she's kind of like playing him. But listen to this. Firepaw could hear teasing purr in her soft mew. Will he live? Tiger Claw demanded. So again, Tiger Claw's still like, oh, I'm big tough guy, and I'm not letting any of this, like, I'm mad, grr. And then Spotted Leaf says, of course, he just needs to rest. Tiger Claw snorted and looked down at the motionless black shape. He jabbed at Ravenclaw. I don't know. Heck no. He jabbed Ravenpaw with one of his front claws. Come on, then. Get up. Ravenpaw didn't move. And then Firepaw and Greypaw have a little aside. But then, listen to this. Listen to this. Not so fast, Tiger Claw. Spotted Leaf placed her paw over Tiger Claw's sharp talon and gently moved it away. This apprentice needs to keep as still as possible until the cut has healed. We don't want him opening his wound by jumping about trying to please you. Leave him alone. Very good. Very good. And then Firepaw found himself holding his breath as he waited for Tiger Claw's reaction. He guessed that few cats dared to give orders to a warrior like that. The big tabby stiffened and seemed to think about oh yeah, sorry. See, this is why I don't read on Think. I get self-conscious. Seemed to think about what to speak when Spotted Leaf mewed teasingly. Even you, okay, so Spotted Leaf is being like teasing again, says, even you know better than to argue with a medicine cat, Tiger Claw. So again, he's all rough and tumble up until this point. Very good. But then that switches him. Listen to this. Tiger Claw's eyes flashed at the little tortoiseshell's word. I wouldn't dare argue with you, dear Spotted Leaf. Which is, to me, seems evil. But then he purred. But maybe he's being... Okay, hold on. Now that I'm reading it again, maybe I'm not. Okay, maybe they're not flirting. Okay, now that I'm reading it in my head when I was reading this yesterday, I was like, oh my god, they're flirting. They're kind of like doing like a, like kind of but maybe he was just kind of like matching her energy of like, she's being all sweetie and being like she knows, she's like, you're an idiot, get away. But she can't say that because she's a medicine cat. She has to be like, no, like, you know, he needs his rest kind of thing, and being like, so maybe he's just matching her energy. Now that I'm reading it, I'm probably thinking it's more that, but apparently I was in a I don't know, a mood yesterday where I was reading it lovingly, but I don't think it is. Okay, well, I'm glad we worked that out together as a team. Idiot Gaming says, I have instant respect for anyone who will stand up to Tiger Claw. That guy is scary. That is so true, but he is also an actual dinkus in this book. I am so surprised at how dumb Tiger Claw is and how many times I'm like, bro, like, you are not subtle. Subtlety is lost on this man. There's no way. Blixemi, Spotted Leaf is Tiger Claw's aunt, so it does make sense that he listens to her. And like, that's the thing. Like, with all the information that comes out in the books, like, once you find out, oh, Spotted Leaf is Tiger Claw's aunt, then you're like, okay, that doesn't work, and then you adjust. But at this point in the books, you don't know, because you don't know who Spotted Leaf's parents are, you don't know who Tiger Claw's parents are, so I'm just going at the fact that all the information I have is in this book, or like going forward, all the books. So like, say when we read book 2, it's only in that book and everything that we've read up until this point, but like, without looking forward, I'm just going with like, if somebody new was reading the series and had no idea, looking forward, being like, oh, like, this is the information that I know, and these are the things that I'm thinking of at this point. So, yeah. Paper Spring says, all right, I better go to not get spoiled. That is the thing. I should put a spoiler warning, because there are probably going to be lots of spoilers. I'll try. If there's, like, major spoilers of, like, character deaths and stuff, I'll chill. I'll give a heads up. Have you read all the books, says Mayo. I've read I haven't read Dawn of the Clans, and I'm not looking forward to it, which is, but I haven't read all the super editions, but for the main series, I'm kind of almost caught up. I haven't read the newest arc with Moonpaw, but I've read the other one. Okay. Okay, says Hazelfern, I'm making an animation of Tiger Claw doing dumb stuff. Thanks for the inspiration, Blix. I'm telling you, for the inspiration, Blix, I didn't finish that, but I'm telling you, like, there's a couple times like where he's just like laying it on thick, and I'm like, dude, either you're dumb or everybody else around you is dumb, or both, because I think, well, I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts. Rainbow says Spotted Leaf has a secret stash of perfume, probably. Yeah, and apparently sweet breath. I'm like, okay, guys, we gotta chill. This is a little weird. Like, just let the girl live. Let her live her life. Did you forget about the trivia? No, I didn't. This is, oh, look at it. It's literally the next thing I have written down. Okay, here's the next trivia question. So, my question is, who was with Firepaw, besides Greypaw, because Greypaw's always with him, who was with Firepaw when he first ever tried a mouse? There was 4 specific cats that are beside him when he first tries, well, 5 if you count Greypaw, but I'm not counting Greypaw because he's just a giveaway. But there are 4 specific cats of ThunderClan who are specifically with him. Do we know? Do we know who it is? Lynx Frost. Lynx Frost, you and I are twins. They say, who here likes the first series better than the others? Hot point. I hate multiple POVs or multi-POVs. I agree. I know that's a take. I know it's a hot take, but at least me and Lynx Frost are in the same boat. But I cannot. I do not like the because I'm like, I don't love cliffhangers every freaking chapter. Just let me keep going. I hate it. Okay, so let's see. Lolita Zombie says Patch Pelt. I knew it was some elders. I know it was some Patch Pelt. Violet Scar says Small Ear, One Eye, Patch Pelt, and one other. You got 2 right, but not Patch Pelt wasn't there. They say the Moonlight says the elders, but I don't know if you guys, like, I had no idea. I was reading that, I'm like, oh, I didn't really know it was there. Elizabeth says Blue Star, Lionheart, and Mousefur. No, it's not those guys, but that's where I would go too. Warrior says Small Ear, Half Tail, One Eye, Patch Pelt. Almost. You're missing one, and it's not Patch Pelt instead of Patch Pelt. We'll see. I always loved multi-POV, says Ash. It gave me a feel for everyone so I can understand more. And that is a very valid take, and I do like that you get those inner thoughts, but I feel like it takes away so much of the intrigue of, like, figuring out what that character is saying from the one, one character, and you can, like, kind of sniff them out through the eyes of somebody else instead of just, like, giving that free pass of just saying, oh, I see exactly what this person's thinking. But I get those sides on both, but I think I'm in agreement. Ooh, Violet Scar says Small Ear, One Eye. Oh, no. Oh, Moonlight says Small Ear, Half Tail, One Eye, Rose Tail. Almost. And then Violet Scar says Small Ear, One Eye, Dapple Tail, and Half Tail. And that's exactly right. Good job, Violet Scar. It is Small Ear, Half Tail, One Eye, and Dapple Tail. And I had no idea. I was like, oh, Also, the other thing, right directly under that for my note, have we ever, like, if you have an example of it, I'm sure I'll go, oh, yeah, that. But do we have another example of a name that is typed out like one I of ONE dash EYE? Or, like, surely there's another double thing like that, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Rainbow says, "What's happening? I feel dumbfounded." Sorry, Rainbow. I was asking a trivia question of who was with Firepaw and Greypaw. Which four cats were with Firepaw minus Greypaw when he first tried a mouse, or when he tried a mouse for the very first time. I forgot Dappletail existed. Me too, Moonlight. There's so many of these cats. And you know who else I always forget exists? Running Wind. Who is that guy? I've never met him in my life. He's just a guy. He's just a dude who just appeared one day, and I'm like, oh yeah, who are you actually? And he's like, I've been here for years. I was actually like walking into the house when you first arrived. Like, what is your issue? And I'm like, sounds suspicious. I don't trust you. Like, who is Running Wind? And do I care? I do. I really do. But he just seems like such a nothing guy. Like, I know okay, spoilers. You know what? We won't get into it. Mickey Davis, you know what a good opportunity for a poll, because I'm so curious. Okay, let's see. Because do you like multi POVs or just one POV? Does that make sense? One POV in a book. Okay, let's see. Now multi POV. Oh gosh. Only one POV, or maybe we'll do the option of I don't mind either way. Okay, there we go. Let's see, because I am curious to know, because I'm with, was that Moonlight? Was that you, Moonlight, who is saying, oh gosh, where's my Streamlabs? Was that you who was saying that? Because no, it was Lynx. I think it was Lynx. But I agree. Running Wind is a nothing burger, says Kate the kitty. Oh, hopefully that didn't, like, end the poll. No, it didn't end the poll. Okay, very good. No, I know. I don't know, like, who he is. Also, look at this top fans. Oh, okay. I've been looking at this on a couple of. Okay, let's really quick. Our top fan right now is Not So Richie. Not So Richie Bobcat. That's number 1. Lazy, number 2. And Kay the Cat, number 3. Those are our top guys. Oh my gosh. Next time, should I do a little, like, top 3? And then as it changes, I could like do like, ooh, these are the top 3. Because I like that. I like it. I think it like is depending on how much you comment. And I think it's just like interaction and different variations of interaction. But anyways, I think that's cool. Let's see what you guys are thinking, because I actually am so curious now. Let's see. Oh, we've got a lot of, okay, so people are kind of like, oh, I don't really mind. Looks like of the two, though, multi-POVs win. Interesting. And see, I'm so with Lynx. I would love to go. And it's so funny that you bring that up, because that was one of my notes toward the end, because I'm like, man, do I not love... Because I think what it is the jarring halt of things are going down, there's a battle, they're like, oh, and then we came up on, there was a guy who had 2 axes in his hands. Ah! And then it cuts to the next chapter of being like, I woke up from a beautiful dream and had a milkshake. Obviously not Warrior Cat stuff, but like, you know what I mean? And then it goes back to it, and it's like, you've totally lost. I know you're like thinking of like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? And you keep reading. But to me, it totally takes the gas out of the lead up, and then being like, oh yeah, this is cool. But I get why it is also beneficial, and like, oh, it keeps you hooked and you want to keep reading. But and even just for character stuff, like I would much rather look through somebody's eyes and see, we'll just say Sammy. You see Sammy and you're like, okay, what is Sammy thinking? They're doing this. And what are their motivations? And you're kind of like, can we trust them? Can we not? Like, are they like good, bad? Like, you know, or even like we see Greystripe of like, or Greypaw, sorry, like what's in Greypaw's mind? Like, what is he thinking? But think of how different it would be if we also got Greypaw's POV of him just constantly, well, a bad example because Firestar is like, or Firepaw, sorry, is the main guy. But how different would it be if Greypaw was like, oh yeah, Firepaw, like, I can't even, these are, see, I'm bad at analogies and like examples, but like to me, it just takes out the mysticism and like learning and creating relationships with each other when you can just instantly see what they're thinking. I want to sniff it out with the main character. I want to grow with them. I don't just want to be told, oh, this person likes this person and these are his intentions. I want to be tricked. I want this person, like, I don't want it taken away from me of figuring stuff out myself. And sometimes I feel like the POV characters do that and you lose the gas. Both of those are, whoa. are my issues. Bad issues, but I'm sure it doesn't matter. I think that's just a personal preference. I want a milkshake, says Moonlight. That's what I'm saying. Maybe I have milkshakes on the brain. Idiot Gaming says, yes, I would have loved to see Gray Stripes POV and Ravenpaw. And see, that's so interesting. And there's literally nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I think it's just preference when it comes to like stories and media and like how you like take in things. Because like just to me, like I think a lot of it is wholly me, but a lot of it is I like to put my headcanons on things, as we can very clearly see of all the things I create. And I'm just like, yeah, canon is but a suggestion. But so like, I feel like when I'm given their exact thoughts, I can no longer play with it. I can no longer like put different things, different intentions, different thoughts into them, because I'm like, oh, like what could it be? What could we do? What is interesting? Like, what am I, like, you're thinking of the story before it happens, but then when they just tell you, it's like, oh, well, I guess that's what it is. I don't know. I'm not a fan personally, but I do understand why they would do it. Firestar's in the chat. Firestar, everybody, quick. I'm a big fan of your work here. Firestar. Oh, Gray Stripe smells stinky, like dirty socks. Ew, pew. Gray Stripe comes in here, shaking his little fist. Why? I gotta. Okay. Elizabeth says, I think multis are cool for battles, especially when it shows the other area of battle and different characters feel during stress. You know what, Elizabeth? I didn't think about that, and that is a very, very good point, and I will 100% agree. It is really good for seeing different parts of the story at once, and you know what? I agree with that. I think I still have a preference for singular POVs, but that is a good benefit of being able to like not have to have like weird contrivances to be in different things, or like you said, when there's high action, of just being able to kind of have a camera in all these different spots. Okay. Blix, are you still making rap battles? You know, I am, kind of, for the most part. I still am. I'm getting distracted by other things. I'm currently writing, no, you know what? Nope, this is not the point of the thing. Focus in. Okay, what am I seeing? Okay, so here's another note of just, I thought it was funny, of, okay, so when Redtail is like, okay, Redtail has kicked the proverbial cat bucket and time for a new guy. And Blue Star's like, you know what, Lionheart's pretty cool. He's pretty chill. I think that he could be a good vice president. Get him up here. And so everybody's like, yahoo, very good. But then Tiger Claw, like they make note of, because I mean, obviously we know of like, oh, he wants to be deputy. But like, we can see that he's like he's expressionless, which I much prefer over him just being like mad. He's expressionless. But when he goes up to congratulate Lionheart, which he does, he goes up and it makes a point of saying how he like basically shoves him over, like pushes him so hard he almost falls. I'm like, and again, Tiger Claw, you messy boy. I'm like, girl, like put some subtlety in your actions. I'm begging. And I get that it's also like, and I don't, what, oh, Goob's having a dream, she's running. I don't want this to be like, because I think that I don't like it when books like say, oh, it's for it's a children's series or a single adult series, so we have to make things very clear. And I think that takes off so much of the like power and like having a child enjoy media and figure things out for themselves. Obviously you don't want it to be crazy abstract in any type of media, because then it's like, oh, that came out of nowhere. But like I don't know, it is so, there's so certain things that they do so well of subtleties and doing this, and they're not hammering the nail on the head. And then there's things like this of like, okay, we get it, Tiger Claw is like, but maybe that's a bad take. But to me, I'm just like, I wish there was just even a tiny bit more subtlety, or like even a questioning. Because you see Tiger Claw, and never once do you really get a moment of, maybe he is a good guy, like maybe he is, and maybe that's just me because, again, reading it, I have all this prior information in my head, but never once do I remember thinking, oh, like maybe he is just like a guy who's just like ambitious and stuff like that. No, like from the get-go, you're like, oh yeah, he's a bad guy. We cannot trust him whatsoever. But I wish there was some like questioning of like, maybe this is more complicated than I actually think, instead of, no, he's bad, I'm good. We have to, you know. Tortoise says Firestar's favorite word is I swear it's like on every page. And the other thing, where is this? Oh, it's a little bit now, but I'll say it now. But I think it's so funny that in this book they actually say like meow and rah, 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 or grah. Like they make a point of like using quotations and being like grah as he jumped, or like meow when he jumped. And I think I can't remember, somebody had posted about it I don't know who it was, but they were saying that the first arc did that, but I didn't really realize until now. And I just think it's so funny of like, they definitely don't do that. Like they'll do things like, oh, Fireheart mewed, or Gray Stripe yowled, or like so and so. But like in this book, they're specifically like, meow said Yellow Fang as she dropped off a cliff into a puddle. Like, Madeline says, Yo Blix, if you like comfort characters, I recommend reading the fic I submitted, Chasing Sunlight. Soft Heart is my son. The fanfics. Oh, we gotta do those again. Those are so fun. Thank you for submitting, Madeline. Oh, I do love comfort characters. That's so true. Oh no. Ash says, oh great, Blixemi, forgive my sins. I do not like Mothwing. Ash, I got nothing to say other than I'm so sorry that you've been deceived this way. I'm so sorry. Ghost Sublime says, can I please make an animation of your songs with credit to you, of course, Loki? Absolutely. Like, anytime, sorry, this is not the point of the stream, I'll just say real quick, but oftentimes I'll get questions like that. And if you're adding transformative stuff, if you're adding a creative spin, if you're putting your art, you're putting your passion, anything like that, like, my content is yours to use. Like, if you're making it transformative and you're adding to it, I love seeing that. In fact, it is very inspiring for me to, not that it's about me, but it's very inspiring to see somebody take something that you've created and then adding on and like collaborating and doing something more. I love that. It's when it's being retaken and slapped on an upload of other people's works or something like just like a singular image. I'm like I get where you're coming from, but also it feels like you're just posting, like, you know what I mean? If you're adding stuff to it, I love it. So yes, absolutely can. Yep. Okay. Jade Gwen says, I'm brand new fan. I just started reading Into the Wild, enjoying it a lot. Oh, that is okay. Focus, Jane. What is the best order to read the books? I would just say follow the main series. Mind you, I haven't like read the super editions and stuff, but I feel like for sure read the first arc, and what I would do is just go through the arcs. Like you can do the super editions after, but they just, I think it gets a little muddy. And if you just do the main arc, at least to begin with, then you can kind of like get the information and then add in like retcons and stuff after. But that's just me. Okay. I remember you saying that you can use music for personal projects, but not maps. Yeah, see, maps is kind of on that same thing of like just a singular image like popped up and re-uploaded. But then also when I was first releasing stuff, and I didn't really have that rule, there was a lot of scramble of like people just uploading the map calls like pretty quickly after I uploaded it. But then it was just like a whole bunch of different people with just singular images. And I didn't want to give permission to some people and not permission to other people and just be unfair. So I just figured, you know, just as an easy way to just be like, hey, I appreciate it. Just maybe not maps is the one thing. I couldn't even tell you. I don't think that's a good reason, but it's just, that's just the one thing where I'm like, if you're adding, or like a small group, you guys are like adding your heart into it. Perfect. Okay. Oh yeah, Paige. Okay. So now this is a question for my, British, folks in the chat, my British friends. Is this something that they say, or is this a misprint in my book? So here it is. Tiger Claw and Lionheart were indeed waiting, sitting a few tail lengths apart on the sunwarm sand. In future, I expect you both to be punctual, growled Tiger Claw. Is in future a saying? Like, do they say in future, blah, 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 or did they miss the word the? In the future, because this is it. In the future, I expect you both to be punctual, is how I would think it, but it goes, in future, I expect you both to be punctual. But is that just like a saying that I don't know? Is it a small little nitpick that doesn't matter? Absolutely it is. Why am I bringing it up? Couldn't even tell you, but I just noticed that and I was like, oh, wild. But I'm not sure. Maybe it is a saying. I feel like there's a couple like British sayings, or I'm not even sure what it would be called, but I think they missed a word, says Lolita Zombie. That's what I was thinking too. I mean, it just doesn't feel quite right. But maybe I'll see if I can find another copy of the book somewhere and see if it's just my book being goofy. They missed the. No, definitely not. It feels right. Fabio says it feels grammatically correct. And that's exactly right, because I'm like, that is what made me think it could be just like a saying of in future, like in like the just feels like it could be unneeded because like you do know, but it kind of like it hit wrong of like, wait, is that right? I'm not actually sure. It feels correct, but looks incorrect. That's what, yeah, okay. I think we're undecided now. We'll have to find another copy. If anybody has the copy of their books at their disposal, check your book on page 56. Oh my god, everybody turn to page 56. In 56, it's, at least in my book, it's like the like very like at the near the top of the page. In future, I expect you both to be punctual, growled Tiger Claw. Tiger Claw, did you? What did you say? Did you miss the? Are you just waiting so long that you've forgotten you turn into caveman speak? Who knows? Swan Flute says, don't know about that particular saying, but I do know British people say in hospital. That's a good point. And they leave. You know what? That is a good point, Swan. Maybe it is. Maybe it just is a saying, and my Canadian tush doesn't like know enough about anything. Yes, page 56. In my town, says Alex, people tend to say that. Okay, I think I'm leaning maybe towards more that it is a saying, and I just didn't know. Okay, we're looking it up. 56, Into the Wild. Yes, sorry, page 56, near the top of the page and Into the Wild. Warrior's book says, Warrior's book says, it says in future. I don't know if I've ever thought about that before, says Violet Scar, right? So it just felt, oh yeah, everybody says it does say in future. Munch says, wait, Blixer, fellow Canadian, dang right. Us Maple boys. That's it. In future is legitimate British. British. Okay, you know what? There, we're learning. And I kind of figured it might be, and I was just ignorant to it, but it just did still catch me. So I'm like, oh wait, maybe I should ask chat. They might know. But okay, in future. Oh, look at that. It is Lolita says, my book says in future, but it's also a very old copy. That's another question. Do you guys have the new cover or the old cover? I think I have an old cover somewhere, but okay. Interesting. Here's another boneheaded realization I made, and I think I've made this realization before, but it again re-clicked into my brain because I'm like, what? So now everybody hold on to your socks because I'm about to say something very stupid, very dumb, very goofball. It clicked in my head that they're called ThunderClan because they live near the Thunder Path. I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And it never, like, I'm pretty sure I've had that realization before, but I think I just tossed it out of my brain. But I'm like, okay, River Clan lives near a river. Okay, Shadow Clan, you know, shadowy, lives in a shadowy place, marshy kind of thing. Wind Clan, they got lots of wind, they're getting blown around. Thunder Clan, I guess that's cool, whatever. Maybe they're just like thunderous, who knows? Who cares? Really? It's what neat. Neato. It could be Dorito Clan. Who cares? Who knows? Not me. But I'm not. And then I read the word Thunderpath, and it was like right near the word ThunderClan, and I'm like, I stopped and I looked into the distance, and I'm like, oh my god! All my brain, my neurons started firing. I'm like, this makes so much sense. And I know. See? Okay. I'm feeling a little bit more validated than you. Okay. Fabio says, get out. And Ash says, oh, that's why they're called ThunderClan? Okay, I feel, okay, you guys have no idea how validating you guys are making me feel. Thank you, okay? I didn't get it. Maybe it's not the reason. Maybe that's not, maybe I'm actually, making that up. But I'm, pretty sure that that's the reason. I thought, oh, Mayo might be right. I thought it was from the original leaders. What? Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Actually, I think you're right. But here's the thing. The reason why I don't think that's the case is because if we're just, because this book was written, the first 6 books were written to be, the story, right? I don't think that because I think Vicky Holmes, don't quote me on this, I could be very wrong, but this is what I thought, Vicky Holmes was commissioned to create the first 6 books in a closed series of this is what happened, and that's why this one is so, tied up together, and it is an entire story in one. There's, it doesn't, at the end of the book, it's a good ending of, okay, that's a finish. So I don't think they had plans to write Dawn of the Clans and all that stuff. So I don't think that that was their original intention. But now that's probably what it is. But I don't know. I don't know. I guess I should. Oh my gosh. I have once talked to Vicky Holmes on Facebook on Messenger. I'll see if I guess I'll talk to her. That was many years ago, and I was basically just fangirling. It's girl. And I can't even remember what she said back. She was very nice. But I'll be like, girl, what up, girl? I have a question. What up? But I could be wrong. Oh, Frog Dragon says, hey, Blix, this is my first live and you're my favorite YouTuber. Frog, thank you for stopping by. What a yap sesh you've come to join. I'm so sorry this is gonna... Ash says, it is from the original leaders, but their territories match the names. I haven't read Dawn of the Clans yet, spoiler alert, so I'll have to maybe revisit this. But... yeah, I don't know. See, Bat, yeah, the founders weren't made up until Oots, Omen of the Stars. And that's what makes me think, because, again, I'm just kind of going with this book with solely the information that I have in this book. Nothing, because, I feel like that's the most, not pure, but, the without getting everything like tied up in like, oh, it can't be this because of this. I think it's just easiest to just take the information from the eyes of somebody who's never read any more books. So Tortoise says, I mean, Shadow Clan is Shadow Clan because they sneak like shadows, River Clan because they swim and have rivers, Wind Clan because they run through the fields like wind. Oh yeah, and Sky Clan because they jump through the sky. But again, I don't think Sky Clan was even conceptually a thing. Like, obviously, like, in, say, universe, if we were thinking, oh, like, yes, it exists, but I think at this point in the story, it did not, like, at all. Like, it was not even gonna be a thing. Like, it was just not. Oh, okay. It's Sussy says, who let a cat on the computer? I have no idea what you're talking about. Nobody. There's no cat to be found. Just a little guy. A little guy with a heart and a dream. We'll jump back up here. Woink. Oh, shoot. Oh, no. Now I've done it. Wait, where was I sitting before? Hopefully like that. Ah! Oh my god. Okay. And this is an spoiler alert, an expose. I'm drinking an energy drink, and it splashed into my eyeball. Oh my god, my eyes are energized. My one singular eye is gonna go faster than my other one. This is no good. Ah! Okay, sorry about that. Whoa. Ouch. But what's the point of Thunder Clan? I think it's just because the Thunder Path. I think. I'm not sure. I think I might be thinking too far into it then. Okay. Another question for you. On page 70, this stumped me. Like, normally when the books are explaining things of like a human thing, they'll be like, oh, sharp, pointy metal things, blah, 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 blah. That's I guess a set of steak knives. I don't know, but they explain them fairly well. I have not a clue what they're referencing here. And I'll tell you what my guess is, but this seems dumb, okay? So on page 70, chapter 6, I'll read it to you and we'll get to the part. Early morning sunlight streamed down onto the forest floor as Firepaw roamed in search of prey. 2 moons had passed, and okay, so this is like Greenleaf, I'm pretty sure, or New Leaf, I can't remember, something, or no, Leafall, I don't know, it's not winter, essentially. He felt at ease in this environment now. His senses had been awoken and educated in ways of the woods, okay? This is where I'm confused. Firepaw paused, that's confusing, Firepaw paused to sniff the earth and the cold blind things that moved within it. The cold blind things? What? Firepaw paused to sniff the earth and the cold blind things that moved within it. My only guess is he means earthworms, right? Because it's moving within it. But surely they know what a worm is. Like, they know what moths are, they know what beetles are, they know what, like, bugs are. Like, they make reference to bugs. So, is it worms? Like, why would they not know the word worm? Or is it not talking about, like, what are they talking about? Cold? Pause to sniff the earth and the cold blind things that moved within it. What? Moles? But moles? Oh, I guess, yeah, moles, I guess. But why would they not know what a mole is? Or maybe it's because Firepaw, maybe they're trying to be like, oh yeah, he knows about stuff, but he's not really, because he's still a kitty pet, so there are things that he's still not knowing. Worms, moles, a mole. Oh, maybe it is, because, you know what, now that you say it, moles makes a lot more sense, but it also doesn't make sense, because my man will look at a bird and go, ah, yes, that is a eastern western white-breasted chaffinch from the European region in Scotland. All of that was correct, I promise. But, like, he can, like, name birds and just all this stuff, but a mole, he's like, that's a mystery to me. I don't know, cold blind thing, I guess. He kind of looks like a little weirdo anyways. But, okay, we got another poll to do. Is it worms or moles? Okay, end poll. That's good. We're getting a lot of information here. Okay, poll. Cold, blind, because that's the other thing. Why would they be cold? Okay. Worms, moles, or I don't know. Okay, let me know. Because to me, the blind thing portion of it, when you guys said mole, I'm like, oh yeah, for sure mole. But why would they specifically say cold? And I'm pretty sure, like, I'm not for sure, and I don't want to go back and check because this feels like not important enough to look, but I don't think pipes, says Moonlight. Interesting pipes. Cold, but do pipes move? I guess maybe not. It would be what, yeah. Lolita Zombie said mole whisker exists. They know moles. The only thing that I could see on an argument for worms or moles is because it's coming from Firestar himself, or Firepaw, excuse me, Fire Guy. He might not know. And if he's a kitty pet like, what are the chances that he's seen a mole? Like, surely he's seen a mouse, he's seen squirrels because they're just common enough, but maybe moles are like more in the forest and they only, sorry if you can hear my kitty cat at the door, they can hear, or they can see these things, but moles are a little bit more rare. So maybe he just doesn't know because he's not a forest cat. And maybe they're just playing 4D chess and they're just showing, you know what, maybe that is what it is, because, hold on, what did I say, page 70? Because they do make a very, hang on. Okay, I could be reading too far into this and they might not have had this intention, but they're talking right above it about he felt at ease in this environment now. His senses had been awoken and educated in ways of the woods, But then right underneath it says Firepaw paused to sniff the earth and the cold blind things that moved within it. So I'm so curious if maybe they're instantly showing like he's confident in what he's doing and he feels like he knows, but there's still things that as a kitty pet he doesn't know about. Anybody else would go, yeah, it's a mole whisker, but because he's not forest born and because he is like an quote unquote outsider and maybe hasn't seen it, he still has things to learn. That's kind of interesting. Maybe it isn't, maybe you guys are right, maybe it is moles. Interesting. Yeah, I think that's okay. I think it's a waffle. Says Kate. It had to be the cold blind. I think it has to be mole. You guys have convinced me. Worm has never been used as a prefix, at least. No, Wormtail. Is it not Wormtail? Or is that a Harry Potter character? I'm not sure. Can you hear my kitty cat? But I think the only thing that makes sense to me is that it is a mole, and the reason he doesn't know it is because, like, the cats do know what a mole is, but he himself has not had the opportunity to see what it is. Because, like, if he'd never seen a mole, like, he wouldn't have seen it in person, and if he'd never seen one up until this very moment, because, say, they're rare or they're only in the forest, he hasn't gone that far into the forest. Worm. It's a worm mole. It's a hybrid. Oh, God. I think I caused myself an existential crisis now. I know. I don't know. I think you guys have convinced me on mole, though. / talked myself through it being moles. Yeah, that's right, Kittytron. Moles are warm-blooded, so they wouldn't be cold. Why would they be cold? Erin Hunter, what are you trying to tell us? What are these cold-blind things? Tell me. So maybe it is worms. Now I'm flipping. Man. Oh, can you guys hear Iggy? Iggy, you sticky monkey. Oh! Little turkey. I have the door closed and she's not impressed at that. A naked mole. Sorry, I laughed so loud. It is, and then Robert says, it is a sparkle mole sparkle. Maybe it's a naked mole rat. This might be a little old reference for you guys, but did you watch Kim Possible? It's Rufus. Rufus, there he is. Definitely worms. It might be pipes or some two-leg thing. The cold lends itself, and the underground, this is a very in-depth conversation of something that doesn't matter, and I'm not sorry about it. This is an important matter to me. But I don't think pipes move. Like, water moves within the pipes, but he himself wouldn't see. And Robert Witten says, I looked it up. It's a mole. I don't know. I'm like 50-50 again. I'm torn. I'm thinking I'm gonna go. My guess is it's mole. It's a mole, and just Firepaw specifically because he's the narrator. He doesn't know what it is. Everybody else does, but he just hasn't had the opportunity to meet one yet. And I do think it makes sense, like I said, of right above it, them calling out specifically, like he feels at ease. He's feeling more at home, like he's understanding the forest, but then instantly right after they point out you're home and this is your home, but there's still things to learn and you are still an outsider because you don't know what a freaking mole is, you little ding dong. And then they at him. I think that's what it's got to be. I'm convinced it's the mole now. Yeah, that's mole. Okay, anyways, that was important. Why would moles be cold? I'm not sure. I think I'm just gonna choose to ignore that because like worms, I feel like he would have seen a worm, surely. We have questions for Vicky Holmes now. What is it, the future or future? And also, oh no, the question was the Thunderpath ThunderClan thing, and what are the cold blind things? I just don't know. I don't think that's for us to know. Okay. Let's see what next. Okay. Oh, I have another trivia. He doesn't have the ads appear. Oh, guys, I turned ads to low, so hopefully they're not too aggressive. I just turned it to like the low setting of when they're gonna come, so I do apologize. Yeah, so if they're coming up, I'm sorry. Hopefully, are they annoying? Are they like a crazy amount? Because I don't think they should be because I have it set to low. I don't think I can even set it lower. But okay, so here's are you ready for the next trivia question? Everybody buckle in, okay? Ash says, y'all don't call Firepaw stupid. He's here. He can hear us. Oh my god, mole holes. Oh, Jimmy June says, by the way, I love your voice so much. Are you working on a new song? Jimmy, I am. Actually, two. Two. Iggy wants to sing. But they're coming. They're coming. Slowly but surely. Okay, ready for the trivia. I'm so sorry. I can open the door in a second if she doesn't stop. Okay, trivia. Okay, Firepaw's. I have written this like an actual crazy person. Firepaw's first solo mission. Okay, no. I remember. Okay, Firepaw's first solo mission as an apprentice, he bumps into Greypaw and he like jumps on him and he attacks him and he's like, ah, I need you to rah. And he like jumps on him and then he's like, oh my god, it's Greypaw. After the tussle, and he mistakes him for an enemy warrior. After the tussle, Greypaw and Firepaw talk briefly about where Greypaw was supposed to go. So Firepaw was just on his mission, just doing his thing, exploring the territory, but Greypaw was specifically doing something at that point when Firepaw. Do you guys know what Greypaw was going off to do in that moment? Dun, dun, dun. Iggy song feature. Oh, Iggy. It's gonna be Iggy omelet solo. Oh. He's not stupid, he's ignorant, says Alex. Yeah, I think ignorant has a like kind of a bit of a negative connotation. I think he's just like still learning maybe, but yeah, I guess yes, ignorant in like what is still out there. What are we talking about, says JJ? Blix, fill in, please. We're talking about Into the Wild. Currently talking about trivia question of where was Greypaw at the point going on when he bumps into Firepaw on his first solo mission. Bye. Hunting. Oh, Goop snoring. Oh my gosh, there's so many noises coming from these critters in here, me included. Hunting. Moonlight is on fire today. Meet a patrol on the Wind Clan border. You're very close, and I would give it to you, but I'm gonna see if there's anybody else who. No, Silverstream isn't in the first book here, but good guess. Scent marking. Violet Scar. Well, Violet Scar and Kittytron are basically bang on. Where'd that go? Go to 4 trees to meet Wind Clan. So he's going to see Wind Clan. Violet Scar to meet Wind Clan at the border, and Wind Clan never shows. That is exactly right. So Blue Star sent Greypaw on a mission to deliver a message from her, being like, "Hey, meet me at." What here? Let me actually find the page, because she's like, meet me at Greypaw. Go tell Wind Clan to meet me at XYZ at XYZ, so that we can have a little talk, a little chit chat about. I think it was about. I'll tell you in a second. Okay, where is it? Oh, I've written the wrong page. Okay. Shouldn't you be heading to meet the patrol on the Wind Clan border? I thought you had to give them a message from Blue Star. Yeah, but there's plenty of time. I was going to do a little hunting first. I'm starving. So it's just kind of, what? Interesting. I like that they say it in passing, because they're, interesting. They're setting up the fact that like, but they're not specifically pointing to it. I love that. I was like, oh yeah, I'm meeting a thing and this is going on in the background. Yeah, if Blue Star wants to talk to Wind Clan, blah, 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 blah. But what we don't know is, yeah, because Shadow Clan has driven them out. So they go to talk to him, but I never clicked that. Blixemi worm. What are we talking about? Blixemi worm. I know what a worm is. Can I be Blixemole? Oh, Blixemole. Oh, that's good. Blixemi worm. Wouldn't it be a Blixaworm? I don't know why I'm being a worm. I think it's because I don't know what a worm is. A gummy worm. But yeah, so that's interesting. I like that it's like the background information of, that's cool. I like when they do stuff like that. Okay, there we go. So yes, he was going to meet the Wind Clan border, but does it ever show up? I think you're right. If they never do. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then like directly after. Oh yeah, and then Firepaw's like, I want to touch the Thunderpath, and then he's like, you ding dong, no. Okay. Elizabeth says, why would Blue Star send an apprentice to talk to them? I'm not sure. Like, they do some wacky stuff in this first arc that I'm like, what? Okay, fine, sure, sounds good. Like, they just, mind you, they kept saying, like, they're low on warriors, so maybe they're like, just send the kid, he's fine. Okay. Oh, I have another, okay, so page 83. So I say, I love the battle cries / cat noises they make. They don't do that in the newer books. Grah. So let me read it to you. You're gonna hear me sound like a kitty for a second. Where did that go? 83. Okay, so instinctively, so this is when Firepaw has met up with Yellowfang. Instinctively, Firepaw lashed out with a backstrike. His paw caught the side of Yellowfang's head. The force of it sent shockwaves up his front leg. Yow! Stunned, Yellowfang dropped onto all four paws. She shook her head to clear it. The blah blah blah. He threw himself forward, crouching low, and clamped his jaws tight on Yellowfang's back leg. Mer ugh! Literally, ugh. Ugh. The taste of the matted fur was horrible, but he chomped down hard. Reow wow wow! Yellowfang screamed in energy. Ah, yes, I love that classic warrior cat quote. Reow wow wow! Reow wow wow wow! That's gonna be my new word cat name. Hi, I'm Reow wow wow paw. Call heart fart star fart word got in there. That's fine. The word fart. I have the humor of a I don't know, somebody very young, because I think farts are funny, and I think they will forever be funny. Well, I'm gonna move you guys over here so I can see the polls. There. Oh, no! Where did I go? No! Come back, me! Oh my god. I've hidden. Come. I'm trying to sneak. I'm trying to get out of here. Ah! Nope. I'm exposing myself. Okay, if I could not... Okay, are you gonna actually come? Okay, there we are. My goodness, technology. Oh no, now my now my background is all messed up. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Where do I want you guys actually? No, I think I want you on this monitor. Okay, sorry. I don't know where I went. I just went on a little adventure, I guess. See, that's what I'm saying. Where did you go? I went on an adventure. I know you saw it. Look at this. I'll show you. I have in case we needed it, I have the wiki page ready to go. So, oh, there we go. Okay, there we are. Okay, thank you. Welcome back. You guys are so, God, and you're so, I don't want to say cute, because that feels like not the correct thing to say, but like, it just, when things like that happen and we're so immersed in it, I just think that is so funny. She's back. I just was going for a little peek. Okay, so yeah, so fire fart, that's the one, that's the only. Okay, another trivia question, says JJ. That is so perfect, because I was literally about to ask another question. Okay. Okay. What fresh kill, here's the trivia. What fresh kill did Firepaw in, oh my gosh, my writing. Oh yeah. What fresh kill did Firepaw illegally give Yellowfang? Dun 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 dun. We'll never know. Well, I do know, and we will find out very shortly, but it's very specific what they say. Let's see. Blixemi, I started the Blixaworm chain. I named you. You've been named by me, Firestar. I wear that name with honor. Oh, Moon, I'm telling you, Moonlight is on fire. Violet, Scar, Swan, Tamarin. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I've done that to you every time. Oh no, not Tamarin. Lynx. Stalks. Yeah, Frog. We got it. It was specifically a young rabbit. He makes a point of that, and then the little turkey eats it too. And then he's like, oh no, I let my hunger get the best of me. Curses. Ah. No, I had a sweet, delicious treat, and it cost me my life. Yes, a rabbit. It was a very, I think it was like a young, I'm pretty sure it said young rabbit specifically. Okay. Okay. Next one. Are you guys ready? Okay, so the next one is, oh darn, I didn't write the page number on this one, but it's got to be in between there. What do we? Oh, no, I'm too far. Hold on, sorry. I'll find it. I know it's around here. Okay, hold on. I think it's... Hold on, I'm so sorry. Okay. Aha, okay, I found it. So, this I thought was interesting, and I don't know, like, and again, I know I said, oh, I'm taking all this information in a vacuum, but this to me doesn't make a lot of sense, but I guess we'll see. So, Blue Star is talking about Firepaw and getting a new mentor. Blue Star went on, one young cat has been sharing mentors with Greypaw and Ravenpaw. By teaching him, oh, sorry, I thought this was going to explain it. So Blue Star has taken Firepaw as an apprentice. I shall speed up, by teaching him, I shall speed up the training of all 3 apprentices. I shall take Firepaw on as my own apprentice. Okay, very good. That's awesome. Very special. I like that. But then, right underneath, Greypaw gasped, unable to hide his surprise. What an honor. It's been moons since Blue Star had an apprentice. Usually she trains only the kits of deputies. What? What? Really? Like, I feel like, okay, so who would that be? Because who is her, what's Brit? Okay, hold on, I got the wiki right here. What a perfect opportunity to bring my wiki up. Oh, chat, we're gonna cover you for just a second while we look at this. Oh, apparently we're covering me too. Okay, okay, here we go. Okay, so we'll go to, sorry, I've made it huge. Blue Star. Spoilers, perhaps. Don't look at the ads also. Blue Star. Yes, Blue Star. Because was it just okay, ads. Could you not take up like the entire screen? That would be so nice. Okay, Blue Star, Blue Star, Blue Star. Mother, father, sister, mentors. Okay, apprentices. Frostfur, Running Wind, and Firestar. So I guess you would say Frostfur is the deputy's child, and so is Running Wind. So I know we don't have information on who quite good ads, for the love of Pete. Okay, who is your, okay, so mother is Robin Wing and father is Fuzzy Pelt. Neither, I think, have ever been deputies. I don't think. And then Running Wind, is that his sister? Half tail and one eye. Like, Greypaw's just lying. He's just lying. He's just like, yeah, I'm just making shit up. Making stuff up. He's not gonna know he's a new guy. Whatever. That's interesting. Cricket Kit, stop. What a cute name. Cricket Kit. Lionheart was the deputy at the time, I think. Well, because it was Redtail, like clearly Redtail. I wish it would show her deputies. Succeeded by, oh, man, this person? Oh, deputy position. Okay. Look at this. No. So that doesn't make sense, because deputy position, before her, Tawny Spots was the deputy, and directly after her was Redtail. So she's only ever had Redtail, Lionheart, very briefly, Tiger Claw, period, the end, because we haven't read the other books yet. So that's, from this point, we only know that she's ever had Redtail and Lionheart as a deputy. Neither, and Redtail, I don't think canonically, like, has kids. Like, I know a lot of people say, oh, his kid's a Sandstorm, but I don't like that. It seems like too like, nah, they're already having enough breeding issues. Nah, we'll just leave it as open-ended. Nobody knows. She disappeared one day from a stork. But I think it's just so funny that Greypaw's like, I don't know. I do, in my headcanon, okay, there we go, get out of here. In my headcanon, he's just lying. just to hype his bro up. He's like, yeah, dude, you're so special. You're so special. So, Blue Star's first apprentice was Frostfur. I'm telling you. Gray Stripes, like, I don't care. Retcon, says Warrior. Yeah. Like, I just don't know. It just seems a little goofy. Okay. Yes, okay. Very good, I mean. Okay. Oh, I have another trivia. Oh, no, I don't have another trivia. I have more questions to ask you guys. See if we can figure this out. Okay, so on page 108, where's this? Okay, so on page 108, 2 kits bump into Yellowfang by accident. They're playing here. I'll just read it to you. Feel my teeth, Broken Star, mewed one small tabby. He leaped onto the back of the little gray and white kit, who was pretending to be the Shadow Clan leader. The 2 kits bundled toward the high rock. Suddenly, the gray and white kit gave a mighty heave and flung the tabby from his back. With a startled squeak, the little tabby cannoned into Yellowfang's side. So we have 2 kits. Who are these kits? Who are these people? Because we have two Toms. What's going on? Why is my phone binging? We have two Toms. One is a small tabby, and one is a gray and white kit. And so these guys would be, they're not Dappletail's kits, because Dappletail. Who is the other queen? A queen has, I turned to Popeye there for a second. No, Brindleface, sorry. Brindleface has her kits near toward the end. So it could either be Frostfur, Goldenflower, or Speckletail's kits. I don't think Speckletail has any kits at this point. So it's either Frostfur, and she did have kits, and Goldenflower. So I think it is Frostfur. And so Brindleface's kits, Ash Kit and Fern Kit, I don't think they're born yet. Like, Ash Kit and Fern Kit are the kids of Brindleface, I'm pretty sure. So it has to be Frostfur's kits. So let's see. Frostfur. How perfect. She's right here on my wiki page. Frostfur. Okay. These ads are insane. Okay. Daughters. Okay, you know what? Okay, so her daughter. Oh, no. Maybe. I actually have no idea. Snow Kit and Bramble Kit? No, it wouldn't be Bramble Kit, because Bramble Kit wouldn't be alive yet. I don't think Bramble Kit becomes a thing till like $4 more or $3 more. NPCs that didn't deserve a name. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they planned. But in my head, I'm like, we need to figure this out. Okay, so small gray and white kit. Who could that be? I don't know. Because it has to be, okay, or either, what was the other one I said? Goldenflower? I don't think it would be Goldenflower. What did I say? Goldenflower? It could be Speckletail. Let's see Speckletail. Let's see, Speckletail. Unless Speckletail. Maybe? No, I don't think so. Oh, I just don't know. But that's why I had to ask you guys, because I'm like, well, oh, Swift Kit. Violet, you might be onto something. Swift Kit. And you know what? I think Swift Kit is Swift. I think Swiftpaw. He's Goldenflower's son, right? I have Swiftpaw, please. I think. Yeah, Goldenflower. Hang on now. It might be. You know what? Here, this has got to be it. Goldenflower's son is Swiftpaw, and he had a sibling named Lynx Kit. Is Lynx Kit a Tom? Is a ginger cat with black patches. Well, that's maybe the tabby. Maybe they're just loosely saying tabby. Yeah, I don't know. And what happened to Lynx Kit? I guess they just don't say. They're just like, he got lost, I guess. Trivia. Lynx Kit was originally introduced in Suzanne's... Oh, no. Instantly no longer canon. Suzanne, you. I don't know. I think it's gonna be... I think you're right. I think it's gotta be Swiftpaw and someone. Swift Kit and Bright Kit? I don't think Bright Kit is born yet. Because Bright Kit... Paw... Who is... Okay, this truly doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think you're right. It's just NPCs, but I'm gonna say it is Swiftpaw and Lynx Kit, I guess. Okay. Okay, here I have another trivia question on page. Oh no, I can't tell you the page. I'll give it away. Okay. When sneaking, okay, so Firepaw gets punished for feeding Yellowfang and also having a snack on the rabbit. He gets punished by having to take care of Yellowfang. So after a long day, he goes to sit down to eat. I'm like exhausted. He's like, I'm so tired. But then Yellowfang is like, I'm hungry. So then Greypaw's like, you know what, dude, you chill. I'll go feed her. And then Firepaw's like, no, like it's my punishment. You shouldn't do it. You're gonna get in trouble. And Greystyle's like, nah, don't worry about it. I won't get in trouble. Spoiler, he got in trouble. And so he was grabbing a mouse from the fresh kill pile, and Tiger Claw stopped him. And they said, hey, what are you doing with those mice? And then to cover his tracks, what did Greypaw say he was doing with those mice to trick? Not very successfully, but to trick Tiger Claw into thinking that he wasn't feeding Yellowfang. What was his punishment? It's kind of maybe a dumb trivia question now I'm saying it. Brett wasn't alive yet. That's what I'm saying. I just don't know. I don't think we're supposed to look too far into it, but I am. Kay the cat says, oh, I remember that scene so well. I know, right? Tamarin Star says he ate them. Exactly. He was basically like, oh, I'm just really hungry. It's like, have you guys seen that, what is it, Matilda? Where the little guy has to eat the chocolate cake. It's essentially that poor little guy. Listen to this. Here, see if I can find it. Oh, no. No, too far. Let me get another and that. Let me find the place. With a sinking feeling. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Stop, Greypaw. A loud growl rumbled from the entrance to the warrior's den. Tiger Claw strode out and marched to Greypaw. Where are you taking those mice? He demanded. Greypaw dropped the mice and shuffled his paws uncomfortably. Not helping young Firepaw by feeding that greedy traitor over there, are you? Firepaw watched Greypaw study his paws for a moment. Finally, he replied, I was just feeling hungry. I was going to take them off and eat them by myself. And then Tiger Claw's essentially like, yeah, eat them right now. And then he's like, oh, my tummy hurts because he eats too much. He got stuffed little tummy. Then he munches them and just explodes. I think that's so true. Better now, asked Tiger Claw, his voice smooth with mock and sympathy. Much, replied Greypaw, stifling a burp. My guy. Poor guy. Oh, man. Okay, what's the next? Oh, yeah. Okay, so then, literally underneath, I don't know what this is in reference to, because I haven't made a note of it, but my note is, Tiger Claw is such a sassy, unashamed, mean guy, and it's great. He's such a mean girl. He has huge mean girl energy. No, what was it? But he's so sassy and he's so funny because just like the way he presents stuff, I'm like, girl, chill, reel it in. Like, it is just, it's so funny how just, oh gosh, oh no, oh, I'm messing it up again. Wait, wow. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Oh, crazy. No, I do want to have it on this page. I lied to you again. I'm moving myself around all over the place. But yeah, he's what I can't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, he's just such a messy guy, and he's just like in everybody's business, and he is so dramatic, and he's kind of dumb. Like, so no, I'm not that sorry, Tiger Claw, but he's a little dumb. Like some of the stuff he does, I'm like, hey, can we like reel it in just slightly? But no, he says no. Okay. Oh, and this is part of it. In addition to that, so Tiger Claw sending Ravenpaw to go get bitten by adders, didn't work, and then also Firepaw to the Two-Leg. What if I feel like Two-Leg is a valid word name, anyways, and also sending Firepaw to the Two-Leg area to like be like, oh yeah, like you were gonna get in trouble. I'm like, what a messy guy. Like, it is so apparent, but they're all dumb. No offense, kind of offense, but I just was like, bro. And then Ravenpaw was actually so competent because he caught a crow, and I not at this part, it was earlier, but basically he came in and Greypaw's like, oh, Ravenpaw caught it something, and even Tiger Claw couldn't say that it was bad. And then he's like, yeah, I caught a crow. It's an old crow anyways, but I still caught it. And they're like, yeah, but you still caught it. So he's like all like just like humble, but then he also catches this adder, so he's like crazy talented, but he's just constantly, I think that's part of my messy girl thing with Tiger Claw. Uh-oh. Goob. Well, I might have to let her out of the room here in a second. Are you done your nap? Maybe. We'll see. She might want to get out. What the heck was I saying? Oh, but he's just constantly going after Ravenpaw for just like anything at all. Hold on, I'm gonna let Poochie Dog out. One moment. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, he's just like constantly, every time he talks about Ravenpaw, he's like, yeah, this guy's the worst. He sucks. He's gross. I once saw him kick a granny. He doesn't look when he crosses the street. He spit on me. He steals candy from everybody, babies included, and is basically the worst. And he was also drawing graffiti. So kill him dead. He just like hates him, and he is so not like subtle at all. And he's so, like, I get it. He's a mean guy. And he's like, but never, like, it's to the point where I'm like, hey, bro, you gotta chill. You have to chill. But no, I guess we won't know he's bad guy unless we're very much told he's a bad guy. Okay, here's another question for you guys. Oh, no. Before that. Okay, so this is a little bit of a, like, it's kind of not a mature joke, but also it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't notice this, I didn't clock this as a kid, but I thought it was funny. On page 128, Firepaw, where is he? Firepaw inwardly in his head absolutely roasts Smudge for being neutered. I'm like, bro, he's so mean to him. Listen to this. Where is it? Yeah. Hold on, where is it? I gotta go back a little bit. It's specifically... Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, don't mind me. Okay. Unfamiliar, Smudge echoed. He sniffed. I suppose you're used to the smell of those wildcats now. Firepaw shook his head as if to clear his mind. But we were kittens together. I should know your smell like I know the smell of my birth mother. Then Firepaw remembered. Smudge had passed 6 months. No wonder he looked so soft and fat. I don't love that, but so fat or so soft and chubby and smelled so strange. First of all, Firepaw, can you not body shame, please? That is so, like, I hate that. Like, you don't know anything, but I get, like, I guess they're just, like, trying to be like, oh, like, he's wealthy. But in any case, Firepaw, I don't respect that, and I'm thinking that you're a jerk for that. But, like, he's just roasting him. He's like, oh, yeah, he's ugly, stupid, stinky, no significant other, never went to a dance party in his life. It's just so funny. I'm like, okay, all right. So I thought that was pretty funny. Oh, poor Smudge. It's okay to be who you are. Don't listen to the haters. Don't listen to the haters. Also, you might be able to hear Austin in the background. The other thing, okay, so here's where I'm like, this is one of the spots where I'm like, Tiger Claw is just a little dumb, and he's evil, but not really. He's just kind of like, I don't know, he kind of strikes me as being a little dumb. Sorry, I'm just drinking my drink here. But yeah, so like, no, I have something before that. Okay, page 145. Okay, so again, this is taking into account that we do not know Dawn of the Clans exists, all the future books, none of that exists, okay? Kind of, period, asterisk. So they specifically, on page 145, are talking about Tiger Clan, Lion Clan, and Leopard Clan. What happened to them? What happened? Is that... surely it's just a tale of old, and they're just like, oh yeah, like we're all big cats inside and we're just now domesticated little guys, but back in the day we were big lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. But now we're not, we're just babies. But like, first of all, how would they know what a lion, tiger, and a leopard are? I guess they just do. I guess it's a tale told down, but like, so they would have to have some semblance of knowing what they are, but I don't know, but I guess they do call him Lionheart, so they know what it looks like. Because they're like, okay, no, Lion, Tiger, and Leopard Clan all made the clans to begin with, but then they never do anything with that. I wish they did. Violet Scar says they're myths. I think they are, and it just explains like why the cats are cats and stuff like that. But it also, I don't know, I just think it's funny that it's never really brought up again, but... I don't know. Yeah, Lyrit said, no, legit never brings them up for real again. That's exactly, like, it's just like, oh yeah. And then I think they sometimes do, like, I know Firepaw, or no, I think Star at the time, he might be Fireheart, whatever his name is at the time, he looks down into a puddle, and in his reflection is a lion staring back at him. So, like, they know what it is. But I just think it's interesting of, like, but how do they know that? And why do they, it was the joke, says Firestar. It might be, but still, they would have to kind of know it, right? Yeah, maybe they're myths or other names for the tribe cats, or Dawn of the Clan cats. But they because listen to this. Where is it? Running nose, blah 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 blah, whatever. The cats. Oh, hold on. The great cats. No, they specifically talk about them. Oh, what's Tiger Clan? Mewed a small voice beside them. Firepaw noticed the little tabby apprentice from one of the other clans sitting beside him. Tiger Clan is one of the great cat clans that used to roam the forest, Great Paw explained quietly. Tiger Clan is a cats of the nights as big as horses with jet black stripes. Then there's Lion Clan. Then there is Lion Clan. There, ... Great Paw hesitated, frowning as he tried to remember. Oh, I've heard of them, mewed the tabby. They were as big as Tiger Clan cats, with yellow fur and golden mane like rays of the sun. Great Paw nodded. And there is another one, Spotty Clan or something like that. And then Lionheart pops in. He's like, you ding dong, it's Leopard Clan. And then Lionheart is like literally like kids these days. Why oughta? Lionheart shook his head in mock despair. Don't you youngsters know your history? Leopard Clan are the swiftest cats, huge and golden, with spotted with black paw prints. You can thank Leopard Clan for the speed and hunting skills you now possess. Like they know what they are, but like to me, like how I guess how are they talking? How are they using medical advancements as a cat? And how do they know organized religion? We don't really question the other things, but to me, I'm just like, I don't know. Poor leopard clan got left out of the battle when they said their middle child. Poor leopard clan. But they do have leopard star, so maybe they're like, that's good enough. So I don't know. It's very strange in any case. I'm like, oh, because they do. I don't know. I don't think in anything past Arc 1 they ever mentioned it. Maybe because they had different plans. Who knows? Ruby Stone says, I just got here. What's going on? We are discussing Battle Cats. We're getting through it. So yeah, we'll have to know. Cat history books. Maybe Idiot. Oh, that was Hazelfern, by the way. Idiot Gaming says, sorry, I was not calling you an idiot by that was bad timing. Idiot Gaming says maybe one of the cats once went to a zoo. That's got to be it. Or maybe like they were watching like the Discovery Network through a TV, on a tree watching. I'm not sure, but it's just very interesting. Moonlight, can you give my friend a shout out? Because I want to be nice for some reason. Her alias is Star Strider. Hello, Star Strider. Hello. We're talking lion, tiger, and leopard clan. If you know anything, hit us up. Moon Kitty Book Club. Moon, what's your idea? I would die. And I will die for Moon. Moon, where did lion, tiger, and leopard clan go? I need to know. Because I don't think they're ever referenced again. I don't think in Arc 2. Oh my god, if anybody's gonna know, it's gonna be Sweet Baby Moon. I kiss towards Moon. Mwah. Mwah. Okay, where are we next? Here's, okay, so I'm talking about Tiger Claw, dummy, little goofball. Man, I forgot that when he went to the Moonstone with Blue Star, so Blue Star's like, hey, we have to go Wi-Fi connect to Star Clan BRB, and they run over to the Moonstone, and they go in there, and Greypaw and Ravenpaw and Firepaw and Tiger Star Claw are all there, and then Greypaw and Ravenpaw sit outside, and Firepaw goes in with them, and Tiger Claw, and the Tiger Claw's like shaking. He's like, oh, I'm shaking my boots. I'm a scary guy. And then he gets so overwhelmed, and like Firepaw is constantly being like, I can smell his fear. His fear smell is overwhelming. He's stinky guy. Quick, Spotted Leaf, breathe on him. I cannot handle how stinky he is. And just like constantly talking about it. And then he's like, he got so overwhelmed, and then he just left. He ran like a little baby, crying and wailing on his way out, tail tucked between his legs. And I just thought that was so funny, because like I did, like once I read that, I'm like, oh yeah, that happened. But I just like, why? I guess he's just like overwhelmed by power, but it goes back to him just being kind of like, he's not this big planner. Like he's just kind of doing what he wants to do, and he wants power, so he's like, okay, I'll just kill people, I got power. He's like not really a big critical thinker, in my opinion, because his plans are not great. He's like, my apprentice, he knows something he's not supposed to. I better start rumors in the clan and say he is like a little, like, I don't know, it just doesn't seem so well put together. I just don't know. Violet Scar says, I keep forgetting how much stuff happens in the first. I know, and they become warriors by the end of it. That always blows my mind. I'm like, some books, they're apprentices for like literally 30 years. They've had a full college education before they become a warrior. Moon says, I think it's the author's attempt at including Watership, you know what, including Watership Down-esque lore in their series, but it gets dropped somewhere after series 2 or so. They still very much know what a lion is going forward. It's like we know what a dragon is because we have stories about dragon. They know what a lion is because elders tell them lion stories, etc. I think you're, like, surely that has to be exactly it. Because, and two, how would they know to, like, name somebody lion, or even freaking Tiger Claw, like Tiger Claw, Lionheart? Oh, interesting. What if we had a third leopard? Yeah, leopard. What the heck? We keep losing leopard clan. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I like the idea of them just, I guess, seeing it somewhere, but surely we'll never know. It's just magical. Wait, in that sense, so if like we know what dragons are, but they're not real, what if they're like not, are they technically still real in their universe? Or they're like unicorns. It's crazy. Oh, we'll never know. Okay, that it does bother me though. Also, Moon, if you're still here, we have a question for you. On page, what page was that? Oh goodness. This is an important question that we never found out the answer to. And also, we were saying that ThunderClan was named ThunderClan because of the Thunder Path. Do you think that's right? Where is this? Okay, page 70. Listen to this. Also, for people who weren't here, we're going back to the coal blind things because this is important. Okay, whack. On page 70, he felt at ease in this environment now. His senses had been awoken and educated in the ways of the woods. This is Firepaw talking. Firepaw paused to sniff the earth and the cold, blind things that moved within it. What is the cold what are the cold, blind things? We could not decide if they were worms or moles or pipes. I think my guess is that they're moles, and because he's a kitty pet and they like specifically say, oh, he knows the forest, he's getting comfortable, but in him not knowing what a mole is, he's like, oh, but there's still things to learn because he doesn't know what a freaking mole is, ding dong, like that. But I don't know, we cannot, because why are they cold? We'll never know. If I recall, could be a bit off. Oh no, Hollyleaf very much knows a lion is large. That's true because of Soul. Has a tufted mane and recognized Soul as one, even though Soul is a tortie. If I recall correctly, they mentioned remembering the manes of the lions when Sharptooth, like it gets but nothing more confusing as we go, and I think that's neat. What justice for lion, tiger, bear clan, oh my, and leopard clan, I guess, whenever we can remember our forgotten middle child, spotty clan or whatever. I just don't. Yes, Moon. I will open up it is on page, let me tell you the exact page. I think what did I say, page 70? Hold on, I think it was page 70. Let me go back. 70. Yeah, page 70. I'm positive it has to be moles. That's my guess. And it's just showing that he just doesn't know everything quite yet. Surely. So. Lolita Zombie said, they say Sharptooth looks like a lion without a mane, I think. It just gets more confusing. Like, because they're in, I guess and Sunny was saying this too, that they're in a different kind of universe, so the laws of life don't necessarily, like, carry over. But if that's like, they have badgers and foxes and stuff, they're in Europe, no? Like, that was kind of what we decided. So, like, where's a lion? Except for in a zoo. He's like, oh, I'm just taking a trip. He actually ran into the Madagascar characters, and they just stopped by and we'll cross over this. Oh, Cat Bomb says, what are we doing here? Cat Bomb? Phenomenal question. We're talking about cold, blind things. We still are on and Thunderpath. Did we decide if ThunderClan was named ThunderClan because of Thunderpath? I think I'm still going with that. I think. Oh, hold on. I've skipped past I've lost my notebook. Oh yeah, Tiger Claw running away from the Moonstone. I just thought that was so funny. I was like, oh yeah, you little chicken, little bok chicken. Yeah, reading over it, he's hunting at the time, so he's probably thinking of burrowing rodents like moles. It is just, why cold? I guess maybe because they're like underground and they're little nosies, maybe. He's like feeling them, like, oh, a little cold nose. I don't know, it has to be moles. But then we're thinking, oh, like the clan knows what moles are because mole whisker and stuff, but I think it's just him. Like, it's just pointedly showing that there's still more to learn. And he hasn't experienced a mole yet, but there are still things there. Cold blind things is wildly flowery, considering modern warriors would never. There's so many, and Greypaw being on his first apprentice outing when he meets Firepaw, his first night, he makes a specific, sorry, we're kind of going backwards, but Greypaw specifically says, yeah, this is my legitimate first night out as an apprentice. I just got my sneakers moved from Velcro to tying up. I've graduated, but now I'm going off to talk to strangers and beat them up, BRB. And then away he goes. Like, bro, you're just a baby. You're a child kitten. And they call him a kitten so many times. How precious, but also, oh my god, you're a child baby. Stop that. Stop that. Elizabeth says he was too embarrassed to ask what a mole is. Could you? Okay, new headcanon. He still doesn't know what a mole is, and he's too afraid to ask at this point because he's been there for forever. And he's like, yeah, mice and birds and a chaffinch and a rat. He like always avoids what a mole is. And then I think he named somebody Mole Whisker, so I think it's funny that he's just guessing. What if he looked nothing like a mole? And I'm like, what? Why? What? Mole? I don't see it. And he's like, don't question me. I'm the leader. I know what a mole is. I definitely know what a mole is. Oh no. I have an idea. I have a feeling Blixemi has barely any idea what's happening. That is so correct 100% of my time. I always think of, Moon says, I was gonna call you Moony. I don't like that. Sweet baby Moon is better. I always think of how a later book refers to Cloudkit with a weird specific relation to a word that never exists again. Kitkin or something. Well, oh, what? I guess that would have been when we, okay, I'll put a note to write that down. And I'll say from Moon. But I think, what book does he come in? Third? Or is it, no, it's surely the third, right? I don't think it's the second. I think third is Forest of Secrets, and I think that's a Silver Stream Saga. but maybe it's not. I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, every once in a while they throw. And in my exact notes after, on page 186, and even prior to this, they keep using, like, I think Blue Star is attacked by the rats at this point, and she is like going through losing a life. And they're like, "Oh my god, is she fine?" And then everybody's like, "No." But Tiger Claw's like, she's in the hands of StarClan now. Do they still? Because and prior they had said, "Do you need a hand with something?" And I'm like, do they keep using that in the future? Like, I get that they're trying to catify things, and I think that's good because it's like immersive. But and also, when did they start saying every cat? Because I think it's so funny, and for surely it has to do with My Little Pony, the every pony thing. I think they don't do it here, but I think in the newer series they do call it every cat, and that just kills me every time. I think it's so funny. But oh, moles. Firestar giving Mole Whisker his warrior name, still knowing what a mole is. I'm telling you, but he's too embarrassed to ask. On his dying bed, he's like hit by that tree, and he's falling asleep forever. And he's under that tree, and he goes, "By the way, what is a mole?" And then he dies. They're like, "What was that a prophecy? Is there?" And then they try and follow the prophecy. We were supposed to know something about a mole. I don't know. It's kind of hard to hear. There's fire everywhere, but Firestar knows. It's like, I have no idea. He just needs to know. Never. Every cat is newer. They for sure says every. Yes, exactly. Because I remember reading it. I think it was in this last, like, when I did the whatever, not the newest arc, the one just with the Nightheart and all that. I think in any case, I saw it at one point. I was like, oh, that's funny that they're doing that now. Every cat is such. It really is, and I do think it is like wholesome. But then they say hands, so I don't know. They don't got hands, says Kitty Shot. That's what I'm saying. They got paws, I guess, and they do. They have said in the paws of StarClan. I have heard them say that. So I don't know if they just like shuffled over it or just like missed it every once in a while. Every time I see the reference, every time I see a reference of hands or like other peopleisms, like the things that people would say, I'm gonna write it down and we'll keep a note of them. Mole Kit is Daisy Kit. Mole Kit is a Daisy Kit. He could think it's a horse-placed thing. Mole, that's a horse's foot, right? But everybody thinks that Firestar is joking, like, "Oh, Firestar, you little clown, you little comic," and he's like, yeah, that was a joke, for sure, 100% a joke, yep. Like, you little shoulder nudge, you little stinker. But he's just sweating. Oh, that's too good. Every Saturday, cats from the clans will be called upon the Warrior Cat YouTube ancestors. YouTube clan, terrible. Oh my gosh, that's where the lion, tiger, and bear clan went. Ballo, or some Ballo, sorry. Says, I can imagine Firestar appearing in a dream to ask what a mole is. Oh, and I feel like he hates Mole Whisker, and he like refuses to like look him in the eye or talk to him because he's just so ashamed. It's like, I don't know. Okay, let's see what else we got. Okay, the other thing I was gonna bring out, Firepaw and his fake out move is used so much. They get so much mileage. Am I Canadian? Do I say kilometerage? Out of Firepaw faking people out. It's this whole, like, they jump on his back and then he flops to the ground as though he's won, and then surprise, you have not, and he jumps up and he bites him in the butt every time. Like, I think they use it like 3 or 4 times, maybe even more, but like, because it's the element of surprise. But he uses it so much in like every battle that he does. They're gonna be like, Firepaw, we've done this like 10 times. It is no, but he just keeps trying it. He's like, no, it'll definitely get him this time. It'll wrap back around to being surprising if they think I'm gonna do it all the time. It's my strategy. Leave me alone. Also, what the mole? But he uses it so much, and I'm like, bro, like, I got to the point because like the first couple times he did it, I'm like, oh yeah, he's getting used out of it, and then by the end, I'm like, oh my god, dude, chill. Like, add some stuff to your repertoire here. I'm begging of you. Firestar gets to StarClan and very sheepishly asks Yellowfang what a mole is, but I love the idea that nobody will tell him because they think he's joking every time, and like nobody, and everybody's like, Firestar, start again, but they never. Sorry, I thought my dog was out the door. Typical underhanded ThunderClan moves. Underhanded, underpod, underwear, underpants. I'm telling you, I don't like. Well, they know they've said legs though. I mean, cats have legs, so I guess that shoots out in the foot, leg. And they use foot instead of paw for like Misty Foot. In any case, focus, Jane, focus. Okay. I have another trivia question. Get ready. All right, here's my trivia for you. What elder, which I didn't know, I kind of forgot about this person. What elder, and I'm pretty sure this is the first time they were ever referenced and in this book. I don't even think they're in the allegiance. This is giving crazy hints. What elder was killed by Blackfoot while protecting the kits during an invasion? And I think that's also the invasion that Lionheart dies. No, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the place that Lionheart also dies. But there's an elder specifically that was by him. Who was it? I'll never know. Oh my god, Moon was like, I'm born for this, baby. Rosetail. Oh yeah, Rosetail. Confession time. I often forget Rosetail, and I know that she's more important in the super editions, but like every time I see that, oh look at here they all come, Rosetail. Yeah, I don't know. Like I know she's in Blue Star's Prophecy, but like she's not even in the allegiances. They're just like, we're gonna kill her in 1 second. She's fine. She doesn't need to be in here. So, bro, what the hell? I'm important too, because they only reference Halftail, Small Ear, Patchpelt, One Eye, and Dappletail as elders, and they say, and definitely not Rosetail. They it's in small text here. If you squint on you have to look really closely underneath. It says we think Rosetail sucks, and we're not going to mention her here. That's kind of rude, Kate. Why did you do that? I don't know. She has a vendetta, I guess. Vendetta. She was scorned once by a rose and never got over it. Oh yeah, I didn't know. Look at that, Rosetail. And again, Running Wind. I will stand behind the fact that Running Wind isn't, he's everybody's imaginary friend. Running Wind doesn't exist. In fact, every time he talks, I think it's just somebody doing a puppet, like a sock puppet behind. Because what is he? I don't know. I don't know. And I frankly am not willing to learn. Oh yeah, and so right after, I think this is a very common take, but I still think it's funny. Deputy position is cursed and everybody would not want to take it. I like the idea of like after Lionheart dies, everybody's kind of like looking around, scratching their necks like, so I gotta go. It's like when you're a kid and you're bringing in groceries but you didn't want to help because like, oh, I just want to like hang out. You're like, oh, I have to pee, and then you go to the washroom and hide. Maybe that's just me thing. I didn't do that ever. I was a good kid. I did it all the time. But then it was like Firepaw, and my trickery was learned so fast. Now, Jane, you've done this so many times. Stop going limp whenever we try and bring in groceries. Damn it. It's gonna work sometime again, I swear. Moonkitty says she is this gossipy, oh my god, gossipy romance-obsessed friends in Blue Star's Prophecy. What I wouldn't give. Why did we lose? Oh my god, give me a messy queen. I love that. Spread that gossip, baby. Oh, give me more Rosetail. Other people's romance obsessed, we love a good tea spiller. I love that. We need that. Oh, Rosetail taken away from us too fast. I am so sad that we lost her. That's what I'm saying. Who even is Running Wind? I don't think we know. I don't even think he knows. We'll never know. Let's see. Page 207. Firepaw calls Dark Stripe Dirt Stripe. But it's so funny because he doesn't say it to anybody. He just like says it under his breath. He's like, actually, let me just redo the thing. And I just thought it was so funny, the context that he does it. 207, there it is. Okay. Where do you think you're going? Growled the voice from the shadows. It was Darkstripe. Yellowfang told me to go out and... You don't take orders from that rogue, hissed the warrior. Go help with repairs. No cat is to leave the camp tonight. He lashed his tail from side to side. Yes, Darkstripe, Firepaw mewed, dipping his head submissively. He turned and muttered, Dirtstripe, under his breath, then headed toward the camp boundary. So he doesn't say, but I liked him. I like to think of him going, Dirtstripe, Dirtstripe. Like, yeah, look good. I gotta tell that one to Greyster later. He'll super appreciate it. I just think it was so funny that it was to nobody, and yet he still said it. I love that. I love that. Every time you say Running Wind, I think you mean Running Nose. No, Running Wind. I'm telling you, he's nobody. He's no one. A lot of cats, this is Moon, says a lot of cats don't get mentioned in the allegiances in Series 1 and die after the first appearance, which is funny. I think I messed that up. In the allegiances in Series 1 and die after the first appearance, which is funny. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're so, and now in the books, I'm like, they're pretty, like, willing to just, like, get rid of cats left, right, and center. In these new books, nobody ever dies, unless it's just, like, some random side character. But I'm like, come on, Erin's, have the guts. Do it. Kill Jayfeather, I dare you. But they won't. Running Wind is I don't know. That's what I'm saying. No one knows. Mist Slime and / Gray Sludge. What was that? What is that from when he was talking about Grateful? That's, I think, down the line. We'll have to go back to that. But I feel like those are ringing a bell or of some sort. Can't remember. Doof Stripe. That's good. I joined just in time for Dirt Stripe. I just think it's just so funny. And it's funny, just period, that he's literally called him Poo Stripe. Like, that is funny in and of itself. But the fact that it's said to no one adds so much for me of like... and I do love the fact that he thought it was funny. Dirt Stripe. He doesn't say that, but in my head he does. He's like, that was a good one. Good job, B. Give himself a high five. That was good. Got him. Got him. Oh, yes. Okay, so very shortly after, on page 209, Tiger Claw is an actual drama kid. He was practicing his drama. Listen to this. We are the last clan to stand against Shadow Clan. We must remain strong, purred Tiger Claw. His tone had become velvety soft now. He waited in silence for a response. It was Dirt Stripe, who answered, eagerly, as if he was still Tiger Claw's apprentice, giving the correct answer to a question on hunting techniques. His words made Firepaw breathless with fear. And the clan would be better off without a traitor like Ravenpaw. I have to say I agree with you, Dark Stripe, murmured Tiger Claw, his voice heavy with emotion. Even though he's my own apprentice, he trailed off as if he were too upset to say more. I love the idea that it is so fake and so bad, but they're like, yeah, Tiger Star. Have you heard that TikTok meme where it's like, ladies, oh, chicken dread, ladies. I like that being Tiger Claw, and the other Dark Stripe, whoever are like, yeah, just screaming, ladies. So good. No, sorry, I was referencing the future. Splashtail names Frost. Oh, frick! I do, I read through those books so fast, but I do distinctly remember that. Yes. But I feel like, don't they go after them? Okay, we'll get to there when we get to the Elder books, but I feel like he's disrespectful to Greypool somehow, because, like, spoiler alert, but, like, she tidies, and everybody's like, oh, oops, and Tiger Claw's like, idiot. And just keeps walking. Can't exactly, she falls or something, I can't really remember. Tiger Claw's he's so dramatic. But that's what makes me think that he's kind of like, he's just winging it. He has no idea what's going on, but he just lives for the drama. He's like, I actually don't really want to be the leader. I want to be a superstar, and this is my easiest way to get it. I need the name Star because I'm heavily confused on what's going on, and I think that that's what I need. I'm gonna be a star. Tiger Star. And then when he's the leader of Shadow Clan, he like organizes these really intense choreography. Oh my god. I'm having a breakdown. He choreographed. Why did I have a hard time with that? Dance routine. And he does like flash mobs instead of attacking other clans. He's like, okay, quick, everybody flash mob. And they all come in snapping, dancing the Katy Perry in their world. This is a very important headcanon that we're discovering. Blix, did you ever cry on any warrior's death? Okay, spoilers a little bit for the upcoming books, but I remember as a kid I did get emotional with in Arc 2 when somebody died. I don't want to give any spoilers just in case people are watching and they see it's Into the Wild. But I lost my place here. Oh, Tiger Claw takes advantage of Greypool's cat dementia later by allowing her to... Yes, that's... Okay. But then she dies, like, right after. Okay, this is spoilers again. But I just remember thinking, you actual jerk. Oh, yes. Oh, my God. Poor Greypool. He sings an opera. I'm telling ya. Billy says Running Wind actually died to a Tiger Claw flash mob. He got stuck under the trampling feet. He's like, no, they're tap dancing on my butt cheeks. Ah! Poor guy. Oh yeah. No. Oh yeah, okay, so on page 211, Firepaw has a really weird encounter with Spotted Leaf. And I think because she knows she's gonna die, but she says something to the effect of, she was pacing in her small clearing, her eyes clouded with unhappiness. Are you okay? Firepaw asked. The spirits of StarClan are restless. I think they're trying to tell me something, she replied, flicking her tail uneasily. What can I do for you? And then blah, 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 blah. He's like, Gray Stripe needs poppy seeds or something like that. And she's like, okay. And then Firepaw again says, thanks. Are you sure you're okay? And she says, go and see your friend. So, but right before this, he had just found out that I think the Tiger Claw had killed Redtail. Like, he was just on the heels of going to tell Blue Star. But I'm like, why would he not tell Spotted Leaf? but I guess, like, maybe he just didn't feel like he could trust her yet, but, like, that's a position of authority. Like, she's right there, like, you have this moment, but instead he's just, like, oogling her and is like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. I forget who Tiger Claw is. I've never heard of that man in my life. So, I don't know, but it just seemed goofy that he had this opportunity, and he's like, oh, okay, whatever, see ya. Smell you later, quite literally. Who knows? Just picturing them dance to Baby One More Time by Britney Paws. No, Kidney Spears. Come on, that was right there. That was gift wrap. Kidney Spears. Okay, let's see. Oh, yes, and directly after that, I go, why is everyone so dumb with Fire Alone? I get it that StarClan can be a little bit, you know, cryptic with their messages, but man, the second on Blue Star, and I know that Blue Star specifically called him Firepaw for that exact reason, but why are we all playing cute with not knowing what's going on? Like, why is, like, surely they're like, oh yeah, okay. And also, what if that wasn't what they meant, and just Blue Star just, like, messed up? She's like, oh, I guess I grossly misunderstood that one. Like, dang it. But, like, everybody's like, oh, yes, this is... And then Spotted Leaf tells Firepaw about Fire Alone can save the clan. He's like, what could that mean? I have no... What, fire? That's so bad. That's what interesting. And it's like, bro, your name... Like, could you... Like, how are you not connecting that? I know that you're young, but also, hello? Like, that makes zero sense to me that you don't even connect it at all. And, like, when it finally is revealed, he's like, oh my god, it was me. It was always me. How could I not see it? It's like, yeah, dude, how could you not see it? It's your name. And he's like, well, I had no idea. I don't even know how to spell fire. Like, oh my god. Why is Mothwing so popular, says Stacy's dog? Speaks for itself, because Mothwing is the #1 in my heart and my soul. I mean, Redtail could have told him, very good, Jane. Redtail could have told Blue Star, who actually killed him during the Moonstone visit. StarClan could have told them so much, but they choose to not to, for, I guess, plot, because there's so many times that they could tell them things and solve so many problems, but like, no, they'll have to figure it out, but they're just like, yeah. And I guess they're just like, nah. Or maybe he was, like, too busy doing something else. He was, like, doing a Rubik's Cube or something. He's like, I've always really want to do this. This is the most important thing that I have going on in my moment. So, I don't know, but they so many times they could have. Spotted Leaf Book 1 has a lot of question marks going on there. She flirts with Tiger Claw. That's what I'm saying. I literally had a full breakdown about that. She does. She and Tiger Claw have this weird, flirty little back and forth. Like, oh my god, okay. Yes, I'm glad that okay, very good. She's avoidant with Firepaw, the prophecy, and Firepaw has some sort of crush on her, but she's not close with him. And that's so true. And, like, so many people, sorry, we're back on this, but so many people comment on how, like, beautiful she is, which is fine. Like, I know there's quite a few cats that they, like, make reference to their looks. Like, I know they say Crowfeather's handsome. Even in the allegiances, they say Firepaw's a handsome Ginger Tom. Like, they often will say, but, like, it is to the point where they cannot talk about her without that, and it's just this weird infatuation. But I feel like she could have done so much more, man. Again, that is a non-unique take, but I don't know. He's like, it can't be me. I don't know anything, while StarClan is screaming about him. I feel like they're all but, like, taking a picture book in front of him and being like, fire, you, fire. And he's like, it's not getting through. It's out of my hands, and I don't even know what hands are. So that's just that. Poor Firepaw, hand heart, fart. Blue Star spiraling. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Moon. I'm fighting for my life here. Moon says, Blue Star spiraling by distrusting StarClan because she has every single reason in the world to distrust StarClan. Exactly. She's like, you could have solved this for us in an actual instant. It would, in fact, probably make your life easier, because now you have to deal with us being in trouble and constantly being like, oh my god, StarClan, calling you on the phone in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., and I'm like, please pick me up from the club because I think Tiger Claw is trying to kill me. And I'm like, I figured it out. Tiger alone will call a cab. Damn it, what does that mean? Not again. Damn it, StarClan. They won't even give me $20 for an Uber. They're the worst. And they're like, yeah, whatever. And they just roll back over. Oh, they'll figure it out. Not my problem. Not my clan. Not my kitties. Gray Stripe, like, unlike Spotted Leaf, Dark Stripe is old and ugly. 15 years before Dark Stripe is retconned to be his brother. Man, they just, I'm telling you, the Dirt Stripe thing will send me forever and ever. Barley sitting in his barn chewing on a rat while watching the drama from the clans unfold. Said silly. Oh, I love that. Barley's just not unbothered. I love that guy. And he's so, like, respectful. What a guy. What a guy. Elizabeth Firepaw. Or Firepaw says fire. Never heard of her. I have to keep thinking about how nice this girl's mouth. Yeah, like, of all the senses to, like, notice, I feel like smell is one of the, well, taste, I suppose, is also weird if you're like, I don't know, licking her foot. Don't love that. But like if the tasting, but he like, I don't know, like she could have a nice sounding voice, or like, I don't know. It just feels weird. I'm like, this feels odd. Don't love this. Oh yeah. And then so Brindleface gives birth to 4 kits in this, but who are they? We decide. I think who Brindleface. So that's got to be Fernpaw, Ashpaw, and then 2 that just don't make it. Like I have no idea actually who the last 2 are, unless it's somebody else. I could go back and look, but because Brindleface, I'm positive that is Fern Cloud's Paw's mom. Also, Melina Zero says Feathertail propaganda. I love Feathertail. You are not alone, Melina. Also, thank you so much for the $2 donation. I super appreciate it. And 7 thumbs up in agreement. I added 8 thumbs up. We love Feathertail in this house. Man, I have thoughts on that. We'll get that to when we get to the new prophecy. Or no, whatever the next one is. I'm so big feelings. Moon says 2 die. The 2 die. The dead ones are given Facebook names later. Oh yeah, we saw freaking Sue. I actively am disrespecting and discrediting any of the Facebook Suzanne kit names. They are not a thing in my mind. They're but fan fiction. And even then. Elder kit and tulip kit. But how did they die? Do we ever find out? There's no, they didn't really make it. I guess in the older series, a lot of the kits kind of just like, I don't know, get picked up by hawks or something. Also, okay, so on page 231, Spotted Leaf. So after all this buildup, all this angsty yearning, all of this, everybody talking about how important she is, I didn't really clock the fact that she's killed off screen. Nobody knows it until they see her dead body. And I'm like, oh my, that's so disrespectful. And I get that it's for like the, oh my God, but it's also like, it just feels like for how much they hyped her up and how much that they did for them to be like, yeah, we'll just kill her off stage and she'll just be like man pain or whatever. She smells great, I guess. And I just hated that. And then directly after Fire, and it's not even during a battle either. It's Clawface comes in to steal the kittens, and as he walks by, he like kicks Spotted Leaf in the knee and takes her down. And he's like, yeah, that's, I guess, nah. And then keeps going. Like it's not even anything big, and we don't see it. And I guess it's kind of interesting because it makes you go, oh my gosh, life is fragile. Every day is a gift. You could be killed by Clawface at any time and have no idea. You just only be remembered by your beautiful smell. That's so sad. But and then so she was, yeah, all that. And then for what? I get for because they're gonna need Yellowfang, but whatever. But then on page 236, Firepaw, my man, goes, goodbye, my sweet Spotted Leaf. Excuse me, your sweet Spotted Leaf? Ew, bro. Take a step back, take 5, take 10 steps back, please. Give some space. Don't love this. You're having a little crush here, and I'm not about, you are weird for this. Don't love it. Just reading chat, shaking my head. What else? Okay, here I have another trivia question. So when Firepaw, so Blue Star told Firepaw, go out and find Yellowfang, because they're like, oh, we're gonna kill her. She stole those kids and killed Spotted Leaf. Everybody kill her on sight. But Blue Star was like, I'm not really sure if she's 100% guilty. So she says to Firepaw, you go find her. Go see if you can find the truth. She trusts you. She'll tell you the truth. If I send Tiger Claw, he will just like body slam her. And I cannot have that, because if she's innocent, that's no good. So so she sends him off, but he finds Ravenpaw and Greypaw. And he's like, oh, he gets stopped by Tiger. This is a very long explanation for this trivia question. But he gets stopped by Tiger Claw, and he's like, where are you going? And then Blue Star comes back, and she makes up a lie for him, or for them, to say why they're going out. And just straight up lies to Tiger Claw. I mean, love that. But do you guys know what the lie was? What Firepaw was supposedly supposed to be doing for Blue Star instead of actually finding Yellowfang? Do we? It's still in this book. It's like, oh, I do not remember that whatsoever at all. Was mentally taking, like it's gross. Yeah, Moon said was mentally taking ownership of Spotted Leaf for several chapters, while Spotted Leaf paced with anxiety and pulled her hair out. But actually, like, she's dealing with some stuff, and he's like, oh my god, you've got a frown on your beautiful face. Just smile. I'm like, ew, Firepaw, weird. Go away. Get out of here. We're all kicking him out via flash mob. mm. Oh my god, Violet Scar is legitimately on fire. Holy cow. To get Colt's Foot or Catmint. Warrior says to get find Horsetail. Silly says running a blue star for errand. Oh my god, where did I pull errand? Oh no, running an errand for blue star. I did say that. Yes, grabbing herbs to grab herbs. Exactly right. She said, Firepaw offered to go fetch Colt's Foot for one of Brindleface's kits who had developed a cough. Blue star, you cheeky girl. That's not what happened, but you know what? But she's fine. Like, she has this weird moral compass of like, oh yeah, I'll lie to my deputy, I don't care, but also, he's the best. Don't tell me that he's not, or else I don't know, punish you, I suppose. Oh, okay, so this is when Firepaw becomes the drama king. He said this, and like after this, I'm like, boy, you are getting main character energy. I'm like, this is so unnecessarily dramatic, but I would have eaten this up as a kid. I would have loved this. I'm like, oh my god. So this is on page 243. So they've just dropped Ravenpaw off at school, and they said, okay, go live with Barley, we'll figure it out. And he's like, oh, and Ravenpaw's all scared. He's like, oh my god, like what's gonna happen? I'm so scared. And so this is following that. Go, Firepaw urged, aware that time was short. He licked Ravenpaw's skinny chest. And don't worry, I'll make sure everyone knows you didn't betray ThunderClan. What if Tigerclaw comes looking for me? Ravenpaw's voice was small against the rumbling storm. Remember, there's like storm going on, thunder, lightning, crashing, everything, dramatic. Firepaw met his gaze steadily. He won't. I will tell him, you're dead. You are dead. End chapter. Like, it's so dramatic. And then directly after, where is this? At 252. So like, he's being all dramatic. He won't. I'll tell them that you are dead. And on page 252, where's the next dramatic thing? Oh yeah. So Yellowfang is off to find the kits, and Firepaw and Greypaw are like, oh, I don't know if we've done the right thing or whatever. So, without another word, Yellowfang sprang past the two apprentices and disappeared into the bushes. Have we done the right thing? Asked Greypaw. I don't know, Firepaw admitted. This is where it gets dramatic. I don't know, Firepaw admitted. If we have, we're heroes and the kids are safe. If we are wrong, we are as good as dead. Boom. Next time. I'm like, why did he get so dramatic all of a sudden? Holy cow. He's like, you know what? Tigerclaw might be onto something. I think I kind of love this drama. And he like fully pushes into it. Oh, so good. Oh, Firepaw, you little drama boy. Okay, what else we got? Oh, okay, so this is like one of my last things. It's not a very underwhelming way to like have my last notes. But out of curiosity, I'd like to know this. Where in the world do the cats go when they flee from battle? So you know when they're like having a warrior cat battle via Pokemon and they're like using scratch and hiss and bite and flamethrower and stuff. After they get to the point where they can no longer fight, they turn tail and they always flee. They're like, yeah, nah, the Ginger She-Cat fleed into the forest for safety, or fleed, or ran out of the clearing. Where do they go? Where? They just like leave and then they group up. They're like, okay, you know how when you're in school you have like fire drills? I'm like, okay, when there's a fire, we all meet near dumpster B in the parking lot near so and so and so. Do they have a meeting? They're like, okay, when we are invaded by a clan and we're no longer able to fight, that won't happen, guys, chill. But on the off chance that it does, we will all meet up at the local McDonald's and grab a coffee and discuss what we can do better for next time. Where do they go? And the reason I ask this is because you think, oh, they will run back to their clan. They run home for safety. But I asked this because Shadow Clan, so the Thunder Clan patrol are finding the kids and they go to Shadow Clan and they're like trying to save them and they're fighting Shadow Clan cats. Boom, boom, boom. Punch the back of the head, kicked the head again. Ouch. Get mad. And they're running, but the Shadow Clan cats are running away to where? They are in the Shadow Clan camp. Like, this is not important, nor does it matter. I guess I've said the same thing twice. But where do they go? I just don't know. They just are like, oh, well, we'll see you later, alligator. Bye. I don't know. Ooh, Moon, that's a good point. Something noticeable about these early books is their camp location seems to be a secret. That is so true because I think it was now I could be wrong, but because I didn't write it down, but I'm pretty sure Tigerclaw says to Blue Star, well, now that Yellowfang is in our camp, she's gonna tell Shadow Clan and we're gonna have to move. She's like, no, shut up, you don't know anything. But like, how are you thinking that you're gonna, we're just gonna pick up, everybody grab part of high rock and move it over, whatever it is. And you're like, yeah, okay, quick, everybody grab a branch and rig up a pulley system, and I guess we'll just yoink it over to the west side of the territory. Why? Huh? But yeah, it's like, yeah, well, but they do, when Firepaw first does come to the camp, he does make note of like, oh, I would have never known anything's here. It just looks like a bunch of brambles. But then he like goes in and he's like, oh my gosh, my gosh. Well, leaving the territory, said Swan Flute. But like, how do they know when to come back? It's like, I don't know, they'll just shoot us a message in the group chat being like, okay, all clear, come on back, bring Dunkins. I don't have Dunkins here, but I've heard they're very good. I think they're just outside of camp watching the fight to see if they'll be let back in or not, says Apollo. And why don't they never come back? Like, it is literally, and I can appreciate the fact, and I've talked about this recently, but like, I can appreciate the fact that they don't want to just like kill every cat, and it's just a way to be like, okay, you have won, and I'm not like incapacitated, I'm just running away to be like, you won this time, and leave. But it's just like, where do they go? And they never come back. They're just like, okay, we'll figure it out later. I think it's funny. Oh, so true. Winston, how could they hide the smell of that much cat pee? That's so true. And just like scent in general. And they're often, I mean, ThunderClan alone's in huge trouble because they can smell Spotted from like 2 miles away. Like, I know exactly where to find ThunderClan. Just follow that scent. They're like, but it feels really uncomfortable to do that. Sunny says, Fireheart ends up knowing that's so true. Clans can't because he cannot stay out of the cat's business. That's, and they find it so fast. They're like, we have a message to go tell WindClan. We'll go directly. We'll take the express lane over to their camp. Like, honestly, all the time. But in the newer books, like, it's an open secret. And plus, how can they move? Anyways, we're just perturbed. Damn. So yeah, so I have one more note here. One moment. Let's see. Oh yes, okay, this one made me like, again, it's just like, use your brain that you apparently are not able to connect to all the time. So everything's all said and done, kind of all done, and Yellowfang comes back. They're like, come on into ThunderClan. She's like, thank you, I will. And everybody's like, you know, good, all happy ending, everybody's cheering, everybody's ramping up to have like an after party. It's great. And Blue Star goes, Yellowfang, would you like to join ThunderClan? I said that already, but you know what I mean. And then somebody pipes up like, she killed Yellowfang, like she can't be let in here. And then Gray Stripe goes, check Spotted Leaf's claws. It wasn't her that killed Yellowfang. In her claws will be claw faces for her. Very not said that way, but something to that effect. And then they're like, yeah, the cat who attacked her wasn't gray. It was brown fur or whatever. And it's like, why didn't you start with we should have not, like, we're just like, yes, witch hunt, just get her, kill her, dead. But like, she was there the whole time. Why are we just now checking after she's been cleared of her innocence? But they're like, you know what, that is a good idea. Why did they not check that instantly? It's like, no, she's guilty. Everybody get her, hunt her down, bite her ankles, get her. So I don't know, but I was like, why? But I guess for the plot, I suppose. And then, well, I have no more notes, and then we go to the end and they're made apprentices. Hello, no, they're not. They're made warriors. Poor Dustpaw, spoilers, Dustpaw and Sandpaw. They're just fuming, which I get. And also, like, oh, no, I was gonna say they had to go to the Moonstone, but they would have. Maybe that's why Blue Star took them, his favorites. And she's like, I'm gonna make them warriors anyways. And they just don't care. They're like, they might not be old, but they've proven themselves, which I guess is a better marker of becoming a warrior. But like right before this, they make note that because Firepaw and Blue Star are training together, and Firepaw is trying to tell Blue Star that Tiger Claw has killed Redtail, and he's like trying to tell her, and she's like, no, you gotta focus on battling. So they're like, okay, after we battle, I'll tell her. And so they're like fighting, and this is toward the end of the book, and they make specific note of saying he is half the size of Blue Star. Actually, I think they just say that Blue Star is twice his size, but essentially the same thing. And they say, oh, he's half the size of Blue. So when he was made a warrior, and this was not short, this was like very, very shortly after he was made a warrior, sorry, oh my god. So, like, I like to imagine just tiny little Fireheart, just as a young kitten, but he has this full warrior name. But also in my head as a kid, whenever they got promoted, like, it was like Pokemon evolutions. Like, when they became apprentices, they went from kitten, like a son as kitten, to now Charmeleon, or like when they were warrior. Now when I imagine, even though you think about it, Fireheart is probably smaller than Sandpaw. Sorry, okay, Fireheart is smaller than Sandpaw when they're talking, but he's still the warrior. But he's a lot. Well, I don't know, a lot younger, but enough younger. I just think it's funny. Sunny says, warrior cats simply do not have legal system or logical processes of thought, so they can follow whatever opinion is shouted to the wind, and that they do, with reckless abandon. They're like, you know what, I don't know, well, it feels like a nice day for this decision, and yeah, everybody thumbs up, 1, 2, 3, break, and they'll take their hands out of the thing. It's very good. So, we'll never know. We'll never know. I don't know what we'll never know, but anything. But yeah, and then they become warriors, and then at the end, basically, Tiger Claw gives Firestar the whole, like, 2 fingers at his eyes, 2 fingers at Firestar's, like, I'm watching you, boy. And Firepaw says something very dramatic once again. Well, okay. Alrighty. He said something like, if he was destined to oppose Tiger Claw. Oh, also, sorry. Okay. Whatever, it's fine. If he was destined to oppose Tiger Claw, then so be it. Fireheart was ready for the challenge. Dun dun dun. Also, gang, let's just watch out for some spam for copy-pasted messages, because it can flood things pretty quick. But yeah, he's a dramatic guy yet again. It's like, Fireclaw, chill. Not your name. Fireheart, chill. But also, no, don't chill. Main character energy. I love that. I had to have a drink of my water. So that's Into the Wild. That took me a long time. That is like 2 hours and 41 minutes. Oh, Flappy Dragon with $10 donate. Thank you, Flappy Dragon. Says, my headcanon is that Firestar is comically short compared to Blue Stripe. Oh my god, Blue Stripe. What? Blue Star or Gray String Pie. Gray String Pie. My favorite cat, Gray String Pie. Oh, I love that. Oh my god, I like the idea that he's just a tiny little guy. He's just a little guy, but he's so fast. But I thought it was so funny. Oh my goodness, but yeah. No, oh my gosh, but yeah, I like him being itty bitty boy, half the size. Okay, hang on. Let's just sorry, I'm just gonna keep watch for the spam on the big Bean Clan thing. We don't wanna swarm the chat with stuff, but oh my gosh, yeah. The itty bitty guy. Do we think, because he's not purebred or anything, I think they specifically, no, they don't, but yeah. Aw, and then he could have big buff sandstorm wipe. I love that. And then that's why squirrel flight is so small. I love that. So yeah, that's the book that in here, and that's all. We never found out what the cold blind things are. We don't know if ThunderClan is named ThunderClan because of the Thunder Path. We don't know if in future is the right term or not. There's another one. I can't remember. Oh, the hand thing. Oh, and the lion clan, leopard clan, and tiger clan. Where did it go? Where did it go? I still think that Flappy Dragon is so funny. I don't want to ever call him anything other than Gray String Pie. But, like, did you do that on purpose, or was it just a mistype? Because I think that is so funny. Both Scourge and Squilf got short plus white paw. I don't think Jake is small. Not sure on that. He can be. We have the power of headcanons, so he could be an itty bitty little guy. Tiny little Jake. I like that though. Just a little chubby, short, precious little guy, Jake. I love him. I don't. Oh, Goob's here. No, that is that. So we'll have to find out we'll have to do some soul searching and, find out what happens next on what are these cats doing. But yeah, that was the first stream. Thank you for hanging out. I know it was a little chaotic at the beginning, but we found our way. Next week we'll be here again, but this time we'll be reading the next book. Forest of Secrets, I think, is the next one. I'm pretty sure. Who'll ever know? But yeah, so same time here next week. Feel free to read the book between now and then, but definitely don't feel like you need to, because we'll just yap about it. It was kind of handy, like when we were talking about when I had the page numbers and we could all look together. So if you want, you definitely don't have to, but if you want, bring your book and then we can all flip together through it so that we can read things together. For example, the in future thing. Oh, Fire and Ice. You guys are so right. Fire and Ice. Yep. Oh, actually, I have the book right in front of me. I can literally just open it and look. Yeah, little ding dong, Jaden. Okay, let's see. Where is this? Okay, yeah. Into the Wild, you're so right. Into the Wild, Fire Nights, Forest of Secrets, Rising Storm, Dangerous Path, The Darkest Hour. There we are. Seemed like Vicky thought it was so poetic giving Firestar's kid that white paw. They really did. They're like, she's got to be special. And she is. She is. All right, gang. Thank you for hanging out. We will see you here next week at the same time. Possibly do another Clan Gen stream at some point. And yeah, we will catch you soon. Take care. And yeah. Be not... I don't know. I need to think of a good ending.